So James, how do you feel about my Transformer music?
I think you're still at a rave from last night or something. What is happening? You know, we got a show to do.
I'm at a rave from like 1999. If we're
Exactly. Exactly.
What's a rave?
That's a thing that was in your immortal time is relatively new.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that terminology.
But you know,
Is it like a cotillion?
you know what? It might be James. You would know more about that. You've had a cotillion, haven't you?
Yes, I have. It's exactly like a cotillion, but with Jenko jeans and glow sticks.
Oh my God, you are not wrong in any way right there.
Could you get away with wearing jorts?
No.
In the ones in the 2010s, yes.
Okay.
But you also have to have like ripped six pack and no shirt. And
well, from what I hear, Ryan Gosling likes to paint his abs on. So
haters. 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 All right, let's get the show started. And we're ready.
Distance nerding.
It's my glow stick pants.
that's the glow sticks. Well, ladies,
am I raving right? Is this how you rave?
Yeah, you just vote, and that's fine. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday. It's a Tuesday morning, so Sausage Taco Tuesday, and you know what that means.
It's too early for innuendos.
That's not even an innuendo. I was talking about like sausage, egg, and cheese.
Like
breakfast
chorizo?
tacos.
Like chorizo?
Sure, let's just make it as dirty as you want it. You're now watching and listening and experiencing Distance Nerding.
Part of the Comic-Con radio podcast family.
She's a nerdy dreamsicle. It's Fray.
Okay. The U.S. House of Representatives just banned him. It's about time. Jahmez 5,000.
He's our favorite streaming service, Phil Dango, at home. It's young Phil, and we're here
to nerd together.
Sometimes.
Together.
Whenever.
Never together. Just 107 times, and we still can't get this right.
We're talking about anything pop culture, news, movies, food, music, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it.
Guys, you got to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Threads, YouTube, Discord, all of the places, all the social media. If it exists, we are there at Distance Nerding. And of course, you can email us at your favorite place, my favorite place, because it's probably the best email address in existence, at Dist.
I found my glasses, everybody.
You did. Wow.
Yeah. It's been like 3 weeks, but I have my glasses.
Nerding at AOL.com, and we will read your email on air on the show, just like we read the chat in on air on the show. Looks like Tater's in the chat. Hey, nerds. Hey, James, specifically.
Tater. Tater.
You love Tyler. Get over it.
Just when he's sleeping.
So just when he's sleeping, right? Tyler, you sleep?
If he is, he's sleep YouTubing or sleep twixting. Twixting?
That is quite possible. That is a thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have now stumbled upon the greatest secret on the internet. You are all partaking and together watching Distance Nerding. It's time for the download.
All right. I like it.
Better and better every time I see it.
No, it's almost like we had something professionally done or something along those lines. Shout out to Geek Saga on Instagram right now. I just saw them in the chat. Shout out guys because they're the ones who made that for us. So great.
Yeah, shout out to them. And they're making us some new stickers.
New stickers.
Geek Saga, get to work. Stop watching YouTube and get to work, Geek Saga.
Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get right into it. This week on deck, we've got the Geek End update.
Idaho, we coming. Oh, it's close. It's real close.
It's so close. I can taste the potatoes.
It's
Yes.
within driving distance.
For all. Starting rumors.
Are we getting Bonderheimer? Huh? Maybe.
Huh? Bondenheimer?
I got the joke. Bonberheimer. There you go.
Bonberheimer.
And then, of course, we end the show with the download.
TikTok. Oh, TikTok is your time up. I was actually going to say TikTok and you don't stop, but that doesn't make sense for what we're going to talk about.
TikTok is not your friend right now, according to government. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the latest in happenings with distance nerding. It's time for the Geek End update.
Distance Nerding is on Comic-Con Radio. Listen to Distance Nerding and our second show, A Comic Conversation, via comiccon-radio.com. Check out this episode and Comic Conversation each week, comiccon-radio.com/podcasts. I'll pop it in the chat, but I ran through that because we got a special guest.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I also realized we forgot shout outs, but we'll do shout outs after we talk to our here.
All good.
I wondered. I was like, are we not doing shout outs?
No,
but I didn't want to say anything because, I don't want to mess with the flow.
That's my fault. I ran right into the Geek End update. And I was like, oh,
Let's do it.
That's my bad. Anyways, so let's introduce our next thing before we introduce the guest, because that way it makes everything flow together, right?
Not if
Whatever.
we keep
Just do it,
talking about
man.
it flowing. You just got to let it flow.
Showed up.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Comic-Con we got coming up. Big show, huge. I'm super excited for it. James is excited, even though he's not going. Fray's excited. She's going to be there. Let's talk about Gem State Comic-Con. Oh, yeah. And then, of course, with that being said, we have the GOAT himself, the man behind Gem State. Again, the GOAT. Please welcome, with all of your applause, to the show. Once again, it's been a minute since we talked to him, but we love him to death. Ladies and gentlemen, the king of the con of Comic-Cons. King of
I was like, wait a minute. Who are we actually having on?
I thought about that as I was saying it. I was like, it's clever until it's like, oh, no, wait.
Let's not get anyone indicted, okay?
Right. No, king of the Comic-Con. Dave Haworth.
You're easy to love,
Dave's
Phil.
here.
Hey.
You're easy to love, Phil.
Good, because if I was, then that wouldn't have worked.
Spend 9 hours in a car
What
with
an
him. I don't
intro.
know. Dave, great to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. First time doing an interview in my video game room, so I don't know if the connection is good or not because it's farthest away from the house. So hopefully I won't cut out on you.
Let's make him big. Let's take a look at the game room.
All right.
The new edition.
Yeah, let's look at it. Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got a lot of
How clean
Switch.
it is.
A lot of
those
Switch.
Those all look like Nintendo games. I can tell from the cover.
Um,
I like that. That is
That's
nice.
nice.
I got a bunch of carts on this side that you can't see. It's all NES, Super NES, and I'm a big gamer, but I'm a casual gamer. I know Phil loves what he's playing right now, Lord of the Rings. I just love that game. But right now, last year, a couple of years I was into II Arcade. You guys know about that love affair.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got into the Evercade, so I'm enjoying that.
Oh.
And I recommend if you love games to get an Evercade system. So
Huh.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Never heard that. I've never heard of Evercade.
here, let's see right here. Oh, I got it's
Oh.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's a British company, but they have like cartridges, like the old school systems, but it's like 20 games for $19.99.
Oh, that's
know.
nice.
Yeah,
So
and
like
I
$1
was
a
getting
game.
a
Yeah,
lot of
alright.
yeah, and I was getting a lot of like pre-orders from like Limited Games, if you guys are familiar with Limited Games for
Mhm.
the Switch. And I started realizing that Evercade's coming out with the same games, both 19 other games with it. So I started canceling my pre-orders.
Oh, that's interesting.
Why-
That's cool.
Why buy one game for $59.99 on Switch when you can buy that game and 19 other games for $19.99, right? Fiscally it makes more sense to me.
Right.
So,
It does.
Evercade.
More
Shout out to
economical.
Evercade.
yeah, they need it. They're a British company and they're big over there and they're just breaking through out here. So
Hey, all they need is a Comic-Con to show off all their goods, and they'll be amazing and do well here in the US. If only we had a Comic-Con, maybe six Comic-Cons to
Yeah.
show off their product.
maybe. Yeah,
Evercade.
and they
Hey,
they
come
can
on.
get free tables. They know all they want. So
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If only. All right, let's talk about Gem State. It's right around the corner. It's so crazy that it's here out of nowhere.
yeah. I gotta be honest with you. I'm drained. This is the first event where I'm drained before the event. There's just so much going on. Such a huge response. And when you announce two guests like Sean Astin and Colin Baker,
Yeah.
you get people coming out from the woodwork, wanting to get involved and coming to the event. And we've had some great sponsors this year. Micron, which is big in Idaho. It's a computer company. And always, hey, I got good news for you. Idaho Pizza Company's back. So pizza for lunch, of course, for you guys.
It's actually really good pizza.
Yeah.
Really good.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Good. It's
I'm gonna be there. Yay.
to die for. And some others. And it's huge. It's just I don't know. I'm just don't know. I'm still trying to collect myself, with everything that's going on. I mean, literally, we're just having meetings every day of things that are just happening there, and it's just amazing. So I'm really happy about it, and it took 10 years to get to this kind of level, and when we first started CampbellCon way back in 2015, and in 2016, we were doing CampbellCon, and I met the promoter for AlienCon, and he was having some trouble with his show, and he said to me, and I'll always remember this, he says, there's a difference between doing a $10,000 event, in cost, and doing a show with a $200,000 budget. Right. And I always remember that, and I'm thinking about now, and here we are at a $200,000 budget. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I should have gone this far.
But we've known each other for like 5+ years now, and you've always talked about that steady growth with the various cons that you do. And by the way, you do like 6 cons between California, Nevada, Idaho, Oregon. So, this steady growth has just been probably the best path, especially when we see a lot of other cons, including like, what is it, Wizard World, kind of fall and wrap up, especially during the pandemic. So kudos to you and your whole team at Colossus Girl Entertainment, because you've been putting on good shows nonstop.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know, you guys know the system. It's basically two people, Marina, who does 95% of it, and then there's me, you know. But the
You're all
great
playing
news is,
video
you know,
games
that I'm very proud of. Yeah, I wish I would. I try to get in video games, but you know, I just a huge announcement from Marina, and I'm very, very proud of her as she's graduating at Boise State with a master's in May. So
nice.
I think, and she's much smarter than me. I'm a complete idiot next to her, but I think we might be the only con that actually has someone with business experience running shows, you know?
Yeah.
So,
let alone
I
a
mean, with
master's
tryhard
degree.
Right.
Is she
So
gonna
that's
get
just going to
Jedi
help the
Master robes
business.
now?
Well, it's her graduation is May 4th, and she wanted to bring her Yoda lightsaber, but they won't let her.
Awesome.
Oh.
It's May the 4th.
Come on.
I know,
They're
right?
cowards. Let her bring the lightsaber.
You can sneak that in. It's a
Yeah,
Yoda
you can.
lightsaber.
Yeah, it's
It's a
small.
short
It's
one.
right.
You can sneak.
not too hard. You know, cowards. Let her bring her lightsaber. You coward.
Congrats to her. We were just texting the other day, and I was joking with her. She's like, vacation? What's a vacation? I'm like, oh, you know, for us, we go to Comic-Cons, and that's our vacation. For you, your vacation is
Right.
college.
Okay, James, for you it's a vacation. For me, it's work the entire time.
Well, hey, if you enjoy your work, then it's all fun.
It's
I'm
true.
just talent. I'm talent. I do nothing but talent.
And, you know, and what I like about, I'm so you guys are on the delay, I think, for me, but what I like about Gem State is, you know, people, they talk about, oh, autograph for Sean Astin's $80. And I said, yeah, well, we negotiated that price down. If you go to another, like a corporate show, you're just going to spend $150.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I said, I think we're the only place in the world where you can go to Gem State on a Sunday, pay $10 for an online ticket, and meet Sean Astin and Colin Baker. I think it's the only place in the world you can spend $10 and meet those guys.
Yeah.
Because most of the shows they're doing, you're going to spend $50 to $75 to get in, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's-
Oh yeah,
that's
absolutely.
amazing.
And then you spend to stand in line for a few hours to say 10 words to them. And yeah, I mean, it can be really cost prohibitive if you're a person just attending. So
We mentioned Sean Astin, but let me run down some of the other guests that are going to be there. So again, Gem State Comic Con, April 6th and 7th at the Expo Idaho in Boise. So we mentioned Sean Astin, we talked about being a goat earlier. He's like a goat over decades. Goonies, Rudy, Lord of the Rings, Stranger Things, 51st Dates. It's crazy how big his career is. And then we have Colin Baker, the sixth Doctor from Doctor Who, Gigi Edgley from Farscape, Clem So from Skyfall, Guardians of the Galaxy, Doctor Strange, Solo, Jurassic Park. I want to know more about him. I'm so interested in him because his resume keeps going. Jurassic Park, Fantastic Beasts, Black Widow, and that's just what I wrote down. Like there's a ton more stuff. And then good buddy Brian A. Prince, the 2018 Predator, who's amazing to talk to. Such a fun guy to talk to. Spencer Wildling from Star Wars and Game of Thrones.
He is
I want to
the
talk
Vader
to
that
him.
murdered everybody, man.
I need to know the tea.
Exactly.
The British and space tea.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not even done. Ming Chen, who's been super cool to talk to. He's always like one of my nerd idols. He was on Comic Book Man and a very good friend of Kevin Smith.
The homie Ming Chen, You know what? I just realized you weren't with us when we met Ming Chen, dude. So like Ming Chen is like he's even more awesome in person than he
That's
is.
awesome.
Than he is like his personality. You know,
That's
so
cool.
I can't wait.
He's becoming your white whale. Like you haven't met him yet, James. And
Yeah, we'll
like
get there.
either time. Yeah.
We'll get there. And then hold on, let's keep going. Tony Oliver, this is a piece of my childhood. Tony Oliver, Rick Hunter from Robotech. That is amazing. I didn't even think that you can ever get a character or an actor like that played like an iconic character like Rick Hunter from Robotech. That is amazing. And then good friend of the show who was just on yesterday, Marie Westbrook, an amazing voice actor. She was in Jujutsu Kaisen, Cyberpunk, Edge Runners, Star Wars, The Old Republic, Disney Plus commercials for Ahsoka. Oh, so cool. So cool that you're bringing all these incredible guests and celebrities and talent to Idaho. I can't wait for it. It'll be an amazing show.
And our father figure now, I think he's our father figure now, who's going to be there, is Joey Diaria is coming back.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Joey D.
I think I'm going to have him every year until he can't make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
a great guy.
It's not far of a trek for him because he's in Idaho. So
Yeah.
Right. And Clem So, he is one of those guys where you try to figure out, his list of movies and where, what characters he played. Then when you see him, you're like, I know that guy. I've seen that guy. Yeah.
He's one of the, I know that guy. I've seen him somewhere. There's like a whole like genre of actors and actresses that are like that. It's like,
right.
I don't know your name, but I've seen you in something.
where do I know that face?
Yeah.
And he carries a presence. So, and he's a good friend of David Chung. That's how we met him. Yeah. So
I wanted to ask about that because I was looking at Clem So's resume, and then I was thinking about Dave Chung's resume, and I'm like, this is like the same resume. I'm like,
I wonder if they have met.
Same guy. Just different hair.
Yeah. Less jumping. But I was so excited to hear more from Clem So because his resume is crazy big. It's amazing. So, and this is, by the way, we just talked about the guests and celebrities that are there. Let's mention the 2+ buildings worth of artists and vendors that are going to be at Expo Idaho. Amazing. Like the way you have it set up. I remember the one year you had a wrestling ring, and cars. But like the expo floor at Gem State Comic Con is amazing. I love how it's set up. There's so many vendors, so many artists. It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
And
it's a fun venue.
And you guys have your own building now. So
that's right.
Ooh.
That's right. That's how it works. That you even kicked us out because you're adding so many vendors. And I'm okay with that.
Well,
I know it's because of me, Dave. You didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to do all that just because I'm coming this year.
Yes. Well, we would have the entire facility, everything, the grounds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one lady who does a small event the same weekend we do. And it's a soccer moms get together where they exchange baby clothes. And I'm like, you can't move that so we can take the whole thing. I mean,
baby clothes are small.
I will give you $2,000 to move it. Really, just move it. But but last year the older ladies, older soccer moms tried sneaking in, so we have to watch out for that this year. So I think that's the only reason why she has it on the same weekend. So
that's just tell her like, hey, we'll get you a booth. You're gonna see thousands of more people. Come on, hang out with us.
Right, exactly. We'll get there.
Well, you know what? We'll auction off the baby clothes. We'll do like a whole auction. We'll just be like, hey guys, silent auction. We could do like a, here's a baby. Here's this. Who wants a nappy? That kind of thing. So
well, we can just auction off the babies and just leave it at that.
Well, what they're trying to do is they're like, oh, you want to get toys for your kids? Well, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our own little thing. and then we'll sneak into the Comic-Con next door, and you can get kids toys for your kids.
Right.
Going back to what we were saying earlier, I do love how the cons have grown steadily. And this is just another example of how this, Gem State Comic-Con has grown. We went from, 2 buildings now to 3 buildings. It's amazing that things are growing, and you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, and I know you're okay. You for a yeah, you can hear me, right?
Oh,
I can hear you.
Okay, I see you. Okay, so yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but Oregon, the 2 shows in Oregon, those are expanding now huge because of the new venue out there. I know it's too early to talk about that, but I had to say something about Gem State. Now it's called Gem State. It's Gem State Comic-Con has become something like Coke or Q-Tip. So, when you think of a swab for your ear, you say Q-Tip, even if it's not a Q-Tip, right? Well, everyone in Idaho, when they say Gem State, they automatically think the Comic-Con. They don't think of the state or anything else. So when people talk about Gem State Comic-Con, they say Gem State, and everyone thinks it's about the Comic-Con. If someone comes into a conversation and says Gem State, and they're not talking about a Comic-Con, other people will be like, "What are you talking about, dude?" I mean, so it's literally the convention has taken that whole moniker of Gem State for itself, which is good in a way and bad in a way, but it's good because when people hear Gem State, they only think of the show. They don't think of the actual state.
Hey, that works out for us.
Exactly.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Hey, name recognition. Can't beat it.
Hey, before we jump into anything else, I do want to ask about the packages that you have for Gem State. I know there's some, and I know there's some that sold out, but if there's any packages left, we should probably throw it out there.
Promote
like, hey,
them?
this.
Yeah. We have these packages as long as we have the product to put the stuff in the packages. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as soon as we ran out of Sean Astin Funko Pops, we stopped selling the packages.
Right.
Here's an exclusive. I always give you guys exclusives. We have more Sean Astin Funko Pops coming. So we're going to be having more packages coming soon. And also we're waiting for Hasbro to send us some cases of the Sean Astin Lord of the Rings action figure. So hopefully we can add that. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I think we're one of the only conventions that do packages. I don't know how many do them now, but people enjoy it.
I hadn't really heard about it until you started talking about it. And then I saw it like pop up like scattered around little cons. So again, name recognition. You're starting a trend now, Dave.
And I have to tell you, we're still the only convention with our own comic book. But James and Phil, and I had to tell all 3 of you that Distance Nerding has a full page ad in the comic book, has an advertisement in the program, and we promote you everywhere. It's going to be
love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
I was going to say you do need a plucky little YouTube channel to catch fire to promote you guys some more too. So
well, that's what you guys are. We call you the official podcast.
Dave, you are welcome on the show anytime. Philippe, you're out. Whenever you're out. Dave's in. You're out.
Well, I mean, let's just be honest here. When it comes to podcasting, I do listen to a lot of podcasts. I watch and listen to you. I listen to On the Fly with David Spade and Dana Carvey, and I listen to a lot of podcasts. And you are the only real sustaining podcast with some longevity to it. If you look at the podcast industry, you guys solidify this genre of podcasting, and that's just the truth of it. Even if I didn't know you and I was just a listener, I would say the same thing.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So
I mean,
nice
you
of
can tell everybody that, like anyone you know, like you could
I
absolutely tell them.
It don't.
Yeah, we've
Well,
seen
you guys can
the
feel free to
pandemic.
watch my other podcasts and other shows. It's not the same interviews.
Wait, you go on other shows?
Oh no.
No.
Wait, James
Oh.
is gatekeeping again. James, we've talked
Awkward.
about this.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. We talked about those packages. There were packages like the Donald Duck packages, the Haname packages, Darth Vader, Samwise Gamgee. As of right now, they're sold out. But you mentioned that you may have more Sean Astin coming. So the best place to find that out is follow you on social media, and then get to the Gem State website, right? Yes.
Yeah, Facebook,
Okay, good.
Instagram. We don't do TikTok because I'm afraid that'll be taken away in a couple of days or so. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's
More on that later.
Right, we actually have a story on that. So,
Oh,
but
and
so
Sam
ahead.
Quasman will have some cases of Donald Duck Funkos at his table, by the way.
awesome.
Oh, that's good. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So those are like the Funko or collectible packages. There's still photo op and autograph packages as well. So make sure you check out gemstatecomiccon.com. I think it's /tickets for all the availability.
Yeah, very, very important for anyone who's listening to this and coming to Gem State Comic Con is Sean Astin autographs and photos are only available online. They're not accepting anything at the door because the demand is too high. So we want to make sure that everyone who really wants one gets one. There was an event, I think a couple of months ago in Washington with Sean Astin there, and they were selling tickets online, and then they were selling tickets for the autographs at the door as well, and they all combined in one line, and a lot of people with advanced tickets didn't even get their autograph or photo. So we are making sure that everyone who gets an online advanced autograph or photo, that's 100% guarantee that you get it unless you don't show up. It's guaranteed.
And I
That's
mean,
awesome.
if you're gonna pay for it, you best be showing up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't show up, they're still gonna take your money.
Yeah.
Because
And you have to go get those online because, the whole idea is like the con time is limited.
Right.
So Sean's nice enough to be there, have all these, pre-sales going on, have the experience and not worry about, having to show up with your money and am I going to get an autograph or a photo? Yes or no? Like do it all online ahead of time.
I think
so you
it's
can get it done.
awesome. It really helps with anxiety because, having it where you're not sure who the guests are, or you don't know if what the pricing structure is going to be or anything like that. Doing it online cuts all that out and it saves you all that anxiety. You know exactly how, what you have, what you're going to be doing. Maybe I'm a little bit too much of a planner and I have an overactive anxiety disorder, but we all have our crosses to bear.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this. This is awesome.
He's so excited that he's not coming.
So, and I saw some of our friends. I'm going to skip over that because I'm hurt you said that. Some of our artist friends are going to be there.
Yes.
Right? Like Tubi is heading out there, right? So that's awesome. I really like
Tubi is I'm sorry, there's a delay, so I'm sorry if I walk over you.
No worries. Go ahead.
But Tubi's like a brother from another mother, man. I've known that guy for almost 15 years. That before I was doing conventions, I knew him, and he's consistent and he's honest and straightforward. I just love that guy to death. So,
And then,
he's doing our comic book. He's doing our comic book, Team Colossus Origins #3. You can pick that up at the show too, but it's not going to be for free like the other one.
yeah. Is Luis Rivera going to be there as well?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Any artist that does work for us is always going to be there. Always. Yeah. They're the team, So.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm just looking at some of the other artists that are going to be
Well,
there.
James-
James Pasco.
James Pasco is going to be there. He's a Bay Area guy, and first time ever in Idaho. He's really looking forward to it. So
That's awesome.
Idaho in
That's awesome.
April. There's nothing better.
yeah, Marie was easy to get for this show. She came up to me. She goes, "I want to go to Gem State." I said, "Well, we're kind of fully loaded." She goes, "Well, I was born in Kellogg and lived in some mountain town in Idaho, and I have family there. Just get me there. Don't worry about anything else." I said, "Okay, all right, you're in." So he's cool. He's cool.
Here's a discount on a ticket. You're welcome.
Maybe we can get you a media pass there, Marie.
No, she's great. She's great. And very underrated career. Like
Oh my
she
God.
runs the gamut of anime, voiceover, narration. She does it. She does it all. Like some voice actors are very niche with hey, I only do character stuff. She does it all, and she has an incredible resume. So
You might say she's the GOAT.
Oh, was that a hint?
No. No, that was not a hint.
The goat.
But I wanted to kind of jump back to Colin Baker. I don't think I've heard or seen him at a con before.
Well, you know me. I'm a big Gallifrey 1 guy. I've been going to that convention for over 25 years. 2 years ago, I was talking to Colin Baker at that event, and our families are kind of from the same area in England. So my family came here in 1920, so I'm not that far removed from England. I still have a lot of family there. So his family and my family lived in the same neighborhood.
Oh, wow.
Even though he's as old as my dad, 81 years old, but they still lived in the same area. And that's how we started talking. And then I said, well, hey, why don't we just start emailing each other? And that's how it started. But the negotiation for him took over a year. And,
wow.
And Colin Baker in the United States has only been to LA, Chicago, and Florida. He's been nowhere else. So for him to come to Idaho is huge. And it's the first doctor ever to appear in Idaho, ever. First time ever. And he's 81 years old. Colin, my years to the Lord Jesus Christ, it'll probably be his first and last, and you have to see him because he is a true classic doctor, and to bring him all the way from England. I won't tell you how much seats are to fly someone that for English first class, but you can probably Google and find out. It's not easy. It's not easy. So if you're Doctor Who, or even if you've just occasional Doctor Who, you've got to get his autograph. And at $50 for his autograph, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. And if you have a Funko Pop of him that's vaulted right now, you have him sign that, you're looking at a $400 Funko Pop instantly. You have to.
Yeah. Totally.
I'm excited because I'm a huge I loved original Doctor Who and even the new stuff. And he's totally into pantomime and he's a huge theater kid. And I'm like, we're going to have a lot to talk about, Colin.
It's interesting because you don't see a lot of the Doctor Who cast out and about at various cons. I mean, there's the Gallifrey one down in LA, right?
Yeah.
Right. And that's really the only one. That's it.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
That's here in California. Thanks for visiting us, Dave, when you're here. I appreciate that. Thanks for letting us know you're going to be here.
That's in Los Angeles, though. You guys are in Sacramento.
5 hours. What's 5 hours? But that's awesome that he's going to be here. I was just looking at his IMDb, and it goes back to the 50s. That's awesome. He's
one of the founding partners for a theater, a theater school, and he did a lot of really interesting things before he did Doctor Who, and he actually was the first ever doctor who actually appeared as another character before he became the Doctor. Is like the very first time. So he's got a lot of like firsts in his resumes with Doctor Who and then with other things too. So
Right. And I've
I
been
may
watching
have
Doctor
researched.
Who. Yeah, I've been watching Doctor Who since I first saw Tom Baker when I was 8 years old in England on TV there, and I've been a fan ever since. And you know, I've always wanted to bring doctors and Doctor Who actors to our conventions, but you know, you have to be responsible when you're doing shows financially, and we
Right.
just weren't there yet. But now we're there. So now I'm able to bring a lot of these different actors in that maybe that they've never been in the area before, or you've never seen before, or that are hard to get, because now we're at the point where we can do that. So I'm hoping, you know, fingers crossed, if things go well, that we can bring more doctors. Look, I mean, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. My favorite Doctor is the Fifth Doctor. I would love to bring him. I would love to bring, well, who knows? Maybe in 50 years, David Tennant when he's 80. But, you know, we'll get there eventually.
Right.
Right.
That's
That'd be
amazing. Yeah. I love the Fifth Doctor too. I too also started on Tom Baker as a kid and totally understand and loved them all. I even watched the movie with Paul McGann.
Oh.
So
I love him
and
too. I love
yeah,
him too.
great. They and the 5-ish doctors that they did with all of them, hilarious. So yeah,
My favorite.
yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
No, my I'm kind of such a huge Doctor Who fan that just to meet Tom Baker in person, I had to fly all the way to London to see him at a small signing he was doing, because he's afraid to fly, so he doesn't fly anymore.
oh wow.
And
Oh,
so, and when I saw him, that was his very last autograph appearance. He hasn't done one since, and he is, wow. I can go all day about him. I'll cut it short because I know James likes to rein me in, but
That's
but you know,
James's
yeah.
superpower. He has to rein
But-
us all in.
But to fly out there to see Tom Baker, that was something I had to do. And I tell people, hey, come from London and come to Gem State. It's a lot of fun over here too. So
Yeah.
if I can do it, you can
That's
do it.
awesome.
You know,
I think you should just take Colossal Girl International now.
we thought
And then you
about that
could leave-
actually.
You could live your Doctor Who dreams and just meet them all internationally.
Yeah, we were actually because we've spent a lot of time in Ukraine and in Russia. We were planning on bringing a show to Ukraine and another show in Russia, and well, the war happened. That ended that. But yeah, we were looking into it.
Wow. Now
Yeah.
that's an exclusive That's an exclusive
That's awesome.
Yeah.
bit of knowledge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
You heard
again,
it here first,
Gem
people. You heard it here first.
Gem State Comic Con, April 6th and 7th, Expo Idaho in Boise. So many things. 3 buildings worth of nerding going on. It's going to be awesome. There's what I also love about Gem State and the cons that you put on is that there's a ton of free stuff. So you can always buy autographs and stuff, but like the con and a lot of the artists give out a lot of freebies at the con. So, if you're bringing your family, they're going to leave with a bunch of swag, a bunch of stuff. So make sure you come out early to Gem State Comic Con. It's going to be awesome. We didn't even talk about, there's 2 cosplay contests, right? Going on.
Right. Saturday, Sunday, yeah.
right. And Ming
Wow.
Chen is going to be judging you. He already judges you. He's going to judge you even more.
Ming Chen is talking about taking you guys out to drinks on Saturday night, so be prepared.
Down. So ready for that.
Hey,
Oh, gosh.
you also have a show to do on Sunday, so just keep it.
I'm going to come
Relax.
so hungover, and
All
my excuse is going to be my head is thumping. Thank you, Ming. I'll make that a joke.
As long as you show up on time, you're good. You're good.
And then at some point there's going to be Dutch rudder jokes. It's going to be a thing.
Okay. And on that note, so Gem State Comic Con, it's right around the corner. Go to gemstatecomiccon.com, get your tickets, and also I think the Forever Pass is still available, right? We haven't.
Oh my! You don't even want to hear what's going on there. That's a whole nother story. We're getting people daily buying Forever Passes because all they have to do is walk in like they own the place. They don't have to wait in line out. And this is more exclusive news for you. People have until the Tuesday after this Gem State to get the Forever Passes for $89.99 because they'll be raised after this event to $125. That's because they're in such high demand right now. We're constantly making them now, and people are realizing that that with that you get so many perks with that. You know.
Yeah.
But it's funny here in Idaho, we'll have like 500 people with Forever Passes, but in California we have like 50. So it's so weird how things have changed where it seems like the center of the pop culture universe is right here in Boise. People are pumped for it. You know what I mean? So it's just it's where California was 20 years ago. It's very interesting to see that dynamic, but those Forever Passes are off the hook. They're just flying off. They're keeping us busy.
Yeah. Well, I love the Forever Pass idea. It's not just that you get in to the con, and you pay once and you're good for the rest of your life, but you get all these perks. You don't have to wait in line. You get your badge, so it's almost like you get a commemorative piece of Gem State as well. You can just bypass all the lines, get right. It's almost like VIP. Don't you get like water or something too?
You get green room access and stuff, and
that's awesome.
And you get, and we do like events like we did Guardians of the Galaxy, the third one. We rented out an entire theater, and Forever Pass holders were allowed to see it for free. Right now, I'm working on the idea of doing. There's a historical theater called Egyptian Theater about doing a Charlton Heston sci-fi festival with Planet of the Apes, Soylent Green, and Omega Man all in one day kind of thing. So there's all kinds of things we're doing.
That's awesome.
We do a lot.
And that's another thing that I love about Gem State and all the cons, all the little pockets of cons that you do. You are definitely creating community around the nerddom, around the geekdom. And I love that the Forever Pass is like bringing people together and connecting. Like, shout out to Cam. Cam was in the chat. Like, we didn't know Cam. We just met him in Boise. Next thing you know, he's like on all our shows. He's on the shows more than I am, and he's just a good friend that he does a lot of good work in the community, supporting everybody, cosplayers. So, shout out to Gem State and Colossus Girl for like fostering all these like communities of nerds and sometimes outcasts. Totally okay. So we appreciate that. So thank you so much.
Yay, nerd community.
Yes.
Nerd has taken a completely new definition from when I was in high school, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a completely different definition from when I was younger too. I mean, I just like nerds were dudes that got stuffed into lockers, right? Like nerds were like, for me, I had, and I've told this story a million times. I had to hide that I was a nerd by playing football and being like, no, I'm a jock. I'm not a nerd. And then I go home and read comic books. I'm just like,
yeah, exactly.
I've been a nerd my entire life, but I've always like welcomed being a nerd and embraced it. I never got stuffed in a locker, mainly because I was a fat kid, but that's not what I'm trying to get at. My point is, we have a community and we're all coming together, so we appreciate it. Anything else you could give us about Gem State? It doesn't necessarily have to be an exclusive, but I'm just thinking, like, is there anything we haven't touched on? I mean, we didn't talk about all the vendors that are going to be there, but there's a ton. I don't know how many thousands of square feet of vendors there's going to be, but I love walking the exhibit floor.
Right. I have to be honest with you. The floor excuse me, the vendor floor is so big. There are portions of it I have never been. I've never been to those areas.
Oh wow.
There's an area that is far on the other side, and I've never been there. And I call it myself. I call it the Lost Lands. You know what I mean? But but I see in the distance that there's just loads of people out there having fun, and then there's people having loads of fun near me, and it's so huge, and everyone's just having a good time. And you talk about nerds and all this, and Gem State, you can go there and you can be yourself. You can be whatever you want to be, and you're accepted. And that's what's so great about it. And the vendors, we have the best vendors. The food trucks, we have like 4 or 5 food trucks this year. It's going to be pretty amazing. Every year, those food trucks make a mint. So that's going to be great food. A lot of artists. You talk about swag, and you talk about some of the guests we have. Well, the swag, you get the free swag, and then you get it autographed for free. So you can go to Gem State for $10, get free swag and get free autographs, and you don't even have come on, you can't beat that. I'm going to see Dune tonight, and that cost me $14.95 a ticket for 2 hours.
It's worth it.
So
love it. Lisa Nalgarib. Oh wait.
Lisa Nalgarib!
And if you're looking for something, it's going to be there. If you're looking for a certain comic book, it's going to be there. We have more comic books there'll be more comic books under that roof on April 6th and 7th than the entire state of Idaho. So comic books are a big thing. Every kind of vendor is going to be there. It's just everyone. It's a get together basically.
When you said comic books on the vendor floor, my nerd bump started tingling.
Well, I'm getting this signed for sure. This is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm a huge Donald Duck fan, and you guys probably know I went to Disneyland recently, a couple of months ago, and I was looking around for Donald Duck stuff, and I'm like, what's going on here? What's with all this Mickey Mouse crap? This should be Donald Duck stuff everywhere. I said, if I owned Disney, Mickey's out, Donald Duck is in. What's going on here? And then I went to the Galaxy's Edge. I told Marina, I'm not interested in anything. I'm not interested in buying anything. I just want to ride these rides. And I see a door, and I go to Marina, let me just check this out. It looks interesting. I walk out there dressed like a full Jedi with an Obi-Wan lightsaber and everything. And it's like, I got hooked.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we didn't even really talk about, but Sam Quasman, the voice of Donald Duck, will be there. Oh my God, that's
90th anniversary for Donald Duck this year, so it's a great time.
That's it's gonna be so much fun. We're gonna have an amazing time.
It's gonna be great, and I can't wait for any of it. Just like it's so close but so far away.
Well, for us, it's like tomorrow, So
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. We're on edge. We are on edge. So
on the
it's going to be a great
edge.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
I can't wait. By the way, kids 12 and under are free. So total family friendly. Come hang out, bring your family. Everybody's going to have a good time. Whenever we see little kids like passing by our table, we have free stickers to give them. So come down, hang out, have a good time. Tickets are as low as like $10 on a Sunday. So just make sure you get them in advance at gemstate.com or gemstatecomiccon.com. Excuse me. Thanks, Dave. This has been awesome.
And I just want to say one thing. We are the Godzilla -1 of conventions.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Love it. Oh man, you just gave me inspiration for a new soundbite. I gotta get
All right, so Gem State Comic-Con, April 6th and 7th, Expo, Idaho, Boise. So easy to find. It's like the biggest thing in Boise. It's right there.
Idaho.
Yeah, are you gonna have beams coming up from the buildings? That's gonna be amazing. It's the mecca of of nerdy things in Idaho.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Did you say beans?
Beams. Beams.
Beams.
I heard beans,
Beans.
too,
Oh.
Dave.
I thought he
I
said
get
beans
it.
like the magical fruit, but no, he meant beams like light beans.
Like the
Oh,
beam.
okay. Because I was thinking, well, we don't have beans, we have potatoes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like,
Come get a potato.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you get McDonald's in Idaho, the fries are locally sourced.
there
That's
you
true.
go.
That's true.
love
Have you guys one question? Sorry, have you guys ever had the potato ice cream here?
What? That's a thing?
No.
Yeah,
No.
potato ice
What?
cream. It's the
I-
most glorious thing you can ever eat.
I think that I'm gonna have to try that when we get there, because I love me some ice cream and I love me some potatoes. So I just feel like that's gonna be a really interesting thing to have.
Yeah, we'll get drinks and potato ice cream with Ming Chen.
There you go.
I remember one year there was.
Hey, see if you can sneak in on the blue. So
There you
I like it.
I'm sorry, there's a delay. But no, see, because Ming Chen wants to go see the blue at Boise State. So you might want to see if you guys can hop the fence with him.
go. There you go.
Yes.
I'm down to have a story. So we went to Idaho and we hopped the fence to go see the Boise Blue with Ming Chen, and then we got kicked out. That was that's my story about getting arrested with Ming Chen.
Sounds like Animal House.
Right.
It's,
Right?
Yeah.
it's still the coolest field in college football. Like nobody else can top that. Nobody else can be like, we have a better field. Like, nope, you don't.
Do you want to know interesting fact about that? That when Boise State ended up getting the blue field, they had a copyright on the blue field, so no one can use a blue field unless they pay Boise State like $5 million.
Oh wow!
So
Wow.
Boise State said, instead of blue, why don't we do all the colors? So they copyrighted all the colors. So if you want anything other than green, you have to pay Boise State.
Oh my God.
That's
Pretty-
funny.
It's pretty genius.
So
nuts.
smart.
Yeah.
Those potatoes make you smarter. That's great.
Mhm.
That's great.
Potato genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Can't wait to check out the show. It's going to be amazing. Thank you again for just creating, you and Marina, creating this incredible show. And then you do it 6 times a year. So, between Idaho and Oregon and California and Nevada,
And
you're putting on some
Oregon.
amazing shows.
And Oregon.
And Oregon and also Oregon, putting on some amazing shows. So thank you so much.
3 Oregons.
Great.
Right? Yeah, you can't forget about Beaver, man.
Oh,
We'll talk
So
more about that
nice.
later.
We
I never
named it
forget about
thrice.
Beaver. Are you kidding me, Phil?
Yes.
And on that note, all right, we'll let you go. Thank you so
much for coming on, man.
much.
Thanks, Dave.
We will see you
Thanks.
soon.
See you guys soon. Yeah, we'll be
Bye.
there. See you soon. Bye.
Always good. Always good.
I love talking to Dave. He always has so many fun stories. Like I didn't know his connection to Doctor Who and like his love for it. I didn't know he went to the Gallifrey 1 every year. Like, thanks for letting us know you're coming to California.
James, you get a little possessive.
I know,
with people we
Well-
know. And I
Well,
mean,
the part of the reason why I wanted to mention that is because we have friends that go to the Gallifrey 1 every year, like Bex from Sack Geeks.
Yep.
Oh,
And Anthony
yeah.
from Sack Geeks. They go down every year and have a good time. So, plus we have friends in LA too. So, we can always hook up friends and let them hang out together and build one
is
big
that
nerd
what you
community.
used to tell people in high school instead of I have a girlfriend, she's from Canada? It was I have a girlfriend, she lives in LA.
Yeah, that's exactly what he does.
Nobody believed anything.
Yeah.
if I said
Nobody
I had a
believed
girlfriend.
anything until James got married and had kids.
And then they're like, "Oh yeah, good for you. That's
Like,
interesting."
oh wait, he does like women.
Yeah. Oh, they're your
Not
kids.
only does
Really?
he like women, he had children with one.
Yeah. It's like when people found out that Goku had a son, right? It's like, you had a son? Lord,
I
have,
didn't even know you could do that.
it's like Lord have mercy on us all. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we skipped over it earlier, but let's talk about it, right? This channel and everything we do here is brought to you by Poddex. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, level up with poddex.com. Head over to Poddex, download the app, use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your purchase. We use Poddex for everything we do, to include all of our interviews that that you're going to see at Gem State if you make it to Gem State, that you're going to hear on Comic Conversations, that you hear on Thursdays, with the exception of yesterday, on the build. James?
Yeah, that's right. Use those pod decks. It's so funny. I love using the pod decks because we always catch people off guard with the questions, and it just makes them think. Because really, they're
I
conversation
think I should
starters.
submit that question that I asked yesterday.
Probably should. I think
I probably should.
I think actually he said that he is not going to be making any future decks. So
Aw.
I think just to correct that, I think it's physical decks.
right.
But I think he's gonna
Oh.
still be making sets and collections that'll go into the app. So
Oh,
you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
we'll do a
apps are
nerd,
the
a nerd
big
one.
thing now too. Like that's like 20 years ago, I guess, or I don't know.
Exactly. All right. Shout out to Dubby.
Yeah, Debbie.
Dubby is an emerged brand of energy drinks created to help focus concentration reaction time with no jitters or crash, no maltodextrins, sugar fillers, artificial colors or dyes, and it is keto friendly. Dubby contains Neurofactor, a nootropic derived from the coffee fruit. Neurofactor helps give the brain focus and clarity, while the 150 milligrams of caffeine and 3 essential B vitamins help you stay alert and energized. Find out more at w.gg or www.w.gg. Shout out to Shadu. Use code NERDING10 for 10% off that order and enjoy that W. There's new flavors coming out all the time. I don't know how. Remember when there was like 5? Back in my day, W only had 5 flavors. Now there's like 40.
So this is the flavor I tried yesterday.
What did you think of that? You never
It was
really
actually
said
really
yesterday.
good. I'm actually going to try the other new flavor right now, and like I've been kind of like caffeineless for like the whole beginning of the show, and I was like, oh man, I need my caffeine fix. But the other one I'm doing here is actually sponsored by Team Merc, which is a Call of Duty clan.
Ooh,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and this is called Merc Madness. It's a cherry limeade.
Wait, so like companies will do that? Like they'll promote like people that are good at stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Like
Like
branded.
what would
Oh,
they
that's
call
cool.
those people?
sponsors.
I'm thinking more like it starts with an I and ends with influencer.
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. The finger lick on this,
Ugh.
as much as James hates it,
Ugh.
you know what this tastes like?
You know what it looks like?
Cherry Sprite.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I actually do
good.
enjoy cherry Sprite.
Okay.
I don't like cherry flavored things.
All right. Well, sit this one out. So cherry Sprite is delicious. So it tastes like cherry.
Yes, well, it's a cherry limeade. So, like, again, just
Okay.
like I said, the finger lick on this just tastes like cherry Sprite.
Ooh.
So you get a lot of cherry and not a lot of lime.
The smell of it smells like cherry Sprite. Let's taste it here.
As long as you don't lick your fingers again, we're okay.
Oh my god, this is amazing. Very much cherry limeade, but it like the
It's
flavor.
Phil approved.
It very much. The flavor is very like it's not overpowering, but at the same time, it's very robust. So it's good. It's really good. Graveyard said he needs more finger licks into the camera. So hold on.
Grave. Oh my god. Oh, the three of them. Oh, that's so.
You even got an out of me.
Yeah, I know. I didn't actually do it because I was like, that's just that actually is.
I closed my eyes. I was like, I can't look at this. This is weird.
So let's get into this, guys. As I'm drinking my cherry limeade, let's move in. We've got a lot of news to cover and not a lot of time to cover it in. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to start some rumors.
I don't know that you pressed the right button. And I don't think there's any graphics on the screen yet.
I think I should do the whole rumors.
By all means.
Okay.
It's Oppenheimer. Boom.
Heimer. Oppenheimer.
And then you
I
have
like
to do the boom because of the bomb.
Boom.
Boom.
Bam. It's bam. The producers of James Bond are currently in the process of figuring out how to proceed with the film franchise after Daniel Craig. One of the hardest parts for them is to figure out who will be the next version of 007. And now, former James Bond star Pierce Brosnan has thrown out his own suggestion for the role. During an interview at the Oscar Wilde Awards in Los Angeles to honor Cillian Murphy, Brosnan said he thought Cillian would do a magnificent job as James Bond.
Oh.
But several years ago, Brosnan said that Tom Hardy should be the next James Bond. He explained, Daniel Craig has been an incredible Bond. He's very physical. He looks lethal. You genuinely believe he is someone who could kill a man. And that is very true. That was me. That was not Brosnan. I think Tom Hardy could be a good Bond. I'd be happy to see him do it. You need an actor who can put a bit of wiggle into it, and that's what makes Bond. I don't know that I've ever known a Bond that wiggled.
Oh yeah.
I understand.
Okay, Roger Moore wiggled like crazy.
Oh, he did. That's true.
Roger Moore did for sure.
He was a
wiggler.
wiggler.
Roger Moore could twerk. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's a rare TikTok. You have to know the special code to see that.
The Ashto.
All right, so talk is on the table. Are the Oscar Wilde Awards really in Los Angeles? No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Seriously, are we ready for more cerebral Irish 007?
My tacos are on the table for Cillian Murphy as James Bond. I wouldn't picture him, or I wouldn't think of him as James Bond, but once we saw that from Bronson, I'm like, oh yeah, he could definitely pull this off. I like Cillian Murphy. He's such a good actor and such good depth. I think he can pull this off and also bring something different and unique to James Bond. Just like the way Daniel Craig brought the physicality to it, I think Cillian Murphy could do something different with James Bond, and I kind of like this one. I like this. What do you guys think?
I initially was thinking no until a thought just popped into my head right now. And it's the same thought that I have anytime I think of Cillian Murphy and his ability to play any character.
Mm-hmm.
Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
He basically, the way that he plays that character is basically Bond. He's very suave, very debonair, but he also is very violent. I think that alone makes me believe that he is more than capable of playing Bond. So I'm going to put my tacos on the table for this one.
I like it. Fray, what do you think?
I could see it because of the Roger Moores. Roger Moore was not very physical. He was I'm going to stand here and pose with this gun. That was what he did. That was his physicality. He wasn't in a lot of fights. He was more of I'm going to infiltrate and figure all this out. And I feel like we haven't had that in a bit. We've had the flashy James Bond that everybody knows. And I've always thought it was a cool idea that it's not really the person's name. It's
Mhm.
who they become when they get the 007 moniker.
Right.
So there's like
Ooh.
several James Bonds. So you can have the physical, like the really physical ones, like a Tom Hardy or a Daniel Craig. And
Right.
then you can have the more cerebral ones, say like a Cillian Murphy or a Roger Moore, or even to
Mhm.
some extent a Sean Connery. Although I would say he's more of the F-boy genre of James Bond.
Completely separate
And
genre. You're right.
yeah, that is totally so.
Pierce Brosnan would be a fuck boy as well.
Yes, yeah. Yes, absolutely. So my tacos are on the table, and I would love it if they if he did do it, that they got him to still be Irish. Like they were like, no, we're just gonna do Irish.
Yeah.
And I think that would make it a little bit more modern, and it would, who knows? Maybe it would heal some of the divide between the Irish and the English. I doubt it. But you never know. Something's got to be a sparking point, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the piece that they've had forever.
It'd be like Trevor Noah's, right? It's just like the Irishman running through. It's like, there he is! Dinner,
Right. So, but yeah, no, I think it's a cool thing. But really, are there really Oscar Wilde awards? I'm kidding. I know there are. I just think it's great. And they gave it to an Irishman. How diverse of them.
Exactly. All right, let's keep it going.
So we move from James Bond to Skywalkers, maybe? I don't know. Patty has things to say. Star Wars things. Let's just get into it. So Patty Jenkins recently revealed that she is back working on her Star Wars Rogue Squadron film at Lucasfilm. Like, we didn't know that's where she would be doing it, is Lucasfilm,
right?
But whatever. It has been over a year. It feels like it's been 12.
Yeah.
Since there was an update, but she recently revealed on the Talking Pictures podcast that she's currently working on the script. She also explained the long delay, saying, so when I left Star Wars to do Wonder Woman 3, I thought maybe I'll come back to Star Wars after Wonder Woman 3. So we did a deal for that to happen. Started a deal, but I thought I was doing Wonder Woman. When that went away, Lucasfilm and I were like, oh, we got to finish this deal. We finished the deal right as the strike was happening, of course. So now I owe a draft of Star Wars, and so we'll see what happens there. Who knows? She went on to talk about the current state of Lucasfilm regarding the Star Wars films they are developing. It's hard. They have a hard job in front of them of what's the first movie they're going to do. They have other directors who've been working. But I am now, I'm back on doing Rogue Squadron, and we'll see what happens. We need to develop, get it to where we're both super happy with it. I love how Patty talks, by the way.
Yeah.
She talks like I do. That's exactly how I would answer a question. As of right now, there are 4 other Star Wars movies in active development, including The Mandalorian and Grogu, coming from Jon Favreau. James Mangold is working on a film about the origins of the Force. Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, did I even say that right? Okay. Is developing a film about Fray as she builds the new Jedi Order. Then there's Dave Filoni, who is also working on a New Republic era movie. So that's a lot. There's a lot. So are we finally getting Rogue Squadron? That's the tacos on the table question.
That's the tacos on the table. 100%. My tacos are 100% on the table on this one, because Patty Jenkins, she said that it was going on hold, and everybody assumed that meant that it was not being done.
That it was dead. Yeah.
Right. And now we have like official news that we are getting a Rogue Squadron, that, especially with how much it meant to her with her father being a pilot.
Yeah.
Just everything behind it, that all the meaning behind everything. I never felt like she was going to leave that alone. I was like, okay, well, she is a amazing director and writer, and this would be something that she needs to do. So my tacos are on the table. This is happening.
I agree with you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I think this rumor is like one of those, like, this really isn't a rumor. It's just Patty going, oh, hey, now that we know that Wonder Woman 3 isn't going to happen with me, I'm back to Star Wars. And that's
Mhm.
fine. I mean, that's part of the behind the scenes or backstage stuff that we really don't see as fans, is
Yeah.
that, you know, these deals get put on hold all the time, or they go into development hold because the director's attached to something else that got the green light, and that was the contract was, you know, that's where all the legal stuff happened. So I definitely think this is going to happen. And to be honest, when people were like, oh, it's dead, I was just like, no, she's got other things she's doing. So I was just like, whatever, you know, I'll believe it when I hear it from Patty or from, you know, Disney. Like, that was really my thing. It's like,
Mhm.
so
Mhm. I totally agree. I think we're gonna get this. You know, shout out to Shadu. I will put my Ronto wrap with blue milk cheese tacos on the table, and I think this is gonna happen. So, and I'm excited. Like, I know they announced a lot, and they kind of had to take a step back and all.
yeah.
This is the one project I want to see happen.
Right
So
there.
I'm excited she's talking about it.
So I'm looking in the chat right now, and there's a lot of talk about, like, okay, well, it's not going to be about Luke or Wedge because the game was about Luke, and the books were about Wedge Antilles. First and foremost, guys, I get it. Patty Jenkins does a lot of like women empowerment in her movies, but first and foremost, she's a Star Wars nerd. She is a massive Star Wars nerd. I think if anything, she's gonna do a Wedge Antilles as the main character, but there's probably gonna be female pilots that are in there. The main character doesn't have to be a female to make it a female empowerment. You know, to put female empowerment in characters. You know, you can do a secondary character, like a perfect example. You know, as much as we shun Cara Dune, but Cara Dune was a very compelling and centralized character when she was introduced in the show,
Right.
and she would have been more if, you know, if the actress wasn't kind of a dick. But I mean, like, you know, you can make Wedge Antilles the main character in this and have supporting characters that are just as prevalent that are female.
Yep.
So,
Or how about this? Make it an ensemble.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. That's kind of like the route that I'm going. I do love that Graveyard and Say Wong are talking about they don't want it unless there's an Ewok fighter in it.
All right. Thank you for mansplaining women empowerment. Let's jump to the next one.
All right. So we have one more rumor, and then we done with those rumors, baby. This one is a little interesting. ScarJo becomes a park ranger.
Huh?
Universal Pictures and director Gareth Edwards are currently developing a reboot, not a, you know, of the Jurassic World franchise, and Scarlett Johansson could end up starring. The report says that Universal has made an offer to Johansson to star in the movie. It goes on to say that the actress met with both Edwards and producer Frank Marshall at least once. What we don't know is if she accepted the offer, but her schedule is open to shoot the film over the summer if she chooses to do it. So, and Steven Spielberg is also a producer on the film, and the original Jurassic Park scribe, David Cope, is writing the script for the movie, which will be a completely fresh take on the franchise. And none of the original actors from Jurassic Park or Jurassic World will return for the new movie. So, tacos on the table. Will ScarJo walk with dinosaurs?
Ooh, this is an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say yes because I think it's something I didn't expect, but I know she's got some deals with Disney for some production roles and possibly directing roles. So I don't know. I think I'm gonna pull my tacos off the table. My brontosaurus tacos off the table. Shout out to Shadu, since he's not here for the dinosaur talk.
I
My
know
brontosaurus
we
talk
have what 3
off the
things that
table.
he would have been like super excited
Yeah.
about.
And then
Yeah.
Thursday we're having a whole dinosaur bracket, and he's not going to be there. So it's like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
What do you guys think?
My tacos are on the table mostly because my initial joke in my head was, so is she just going to be giving spinning back kicks to Raptors? Like, what, why are we putting ScarJo in this? And then I remember Jojo Rabbit. She can play very dramatic roles in a very good way. So that just tells me that she has the versatility that she can be a kind of reluctant heroine kind of thing, where it's not like she's not an action star per se. Like she's not going to be doing Black Widow where she's like super ninja status, but she's also not going to be doing like, damsel in distress. I think she can play like the archaeologist who is just trying to survive kind of situation.
Yeah, she's played a lot of different types of women.
Yeah.
So I think that she could do that. And I would like to see her in more of like a scientific, let me figure this out with my brain instead. Like kind of like Lucy, but not nearly as like mind expanding.
Yeah.
So
the drug fever dream. So it's like,
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like because she just gets smarter and she learns how to really do all of this stuff. But yeah, I think it would be a good thing. If it doesn't happen, I'm okay. If it does happen, I'm okay. So I guess my ambivalent tacos are going to be on the table.
Jesus.
So
the ambivalence of your ambivalent tacos.
Oh, taste of mediocrity.
Oh, yeah. So
all right, I think that was our last rumor.
That was it for rumors, guys. So that means we are now moving into the realm of the regular news. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the download. All right, we are here. It is time to get right into this. Now that we're talking, let's get right into the news. So it's not it's Morphin time.
So you're not.
Yeah, this is an odd one.
This is a really odd one, and it kind of makes me think twice about. I've met him twice, and it makes me feel a little weird about him now. Mighty Morphin Power Ranger star Austin St. John has revealed in a podcast interview that he plans to sell T-shirts with, among other things, quotes from Adolf Hitler on them.
What? So crazy.
It's so weird. And this is a DeLong family. I'm looking at you because I think that they're going to be thinking twice about Austin St. John because they're massive Austin St. John fans, and to hear that he is about to glorify Hitler. I mean, I guess he's not glorifying Hitler, but he is at the same time. Well, I'll explain.
Well, I was going to say that quote is just, there's so many problems. It's problematic.
Yeah. Like I said, this is really weird of him. His Power Rangers co-star subtweeted him, suggesting maybe, just maybe, that wasn't a great decision. I'm building a warrior line where I will go back in history from pre-Greek days as far back as I can, St. John told Cummings. I'm going to have famous quotes from warriors of all ilks, including the terrible ones. Now, I get the logic on what he's doing here, but I don't agree with it still. So he goes on to say, Hitler was, a demon on steroids, but he had some pretty good one-liners. So everybody from the great ones to the infamous and terrible ones. I
don't know about that.
We will wait and see if John's warrior clothing line hits.
I just feel like when you try to everybody it, like there are some things that you can everybody it. This is not one of those things.
No, at all. I mean, so there are there are points and certain leaders where, like, there are good quotes from Stalin. There are good quotes from different leaders that they've had things that they've said that have been poignant, but you don't quote Hitler at all.
And you don't lead with that. Like,
You don't exactly. You don't
you
say.
could have kept that to yourself.
Yeah.
Austin.
But the thing is at that point you're also even if he didn't say it, he was gonna put that out, and someone was gonna say, "Is that a Hitler quote?"
Exactly.
And you know who takes that on is the people who go and get on that and that on that bandwagon are like fucking Nazis.
Yeah, it was a bad move to talk about it, especially that it was a little I don't know, ignorant for him to just throw it out there. So
Yeah, because like
even St. John, I think you buried your company before you even started it.
It's like you had good intentions. I get what you were going at, but always look at the future repercussions of what you're creating, because what you're doing at this point is saying, I want to do something and quote good quotes from different warriors in history, but what you're doing is enabling Nazis, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was the intention or not. Again, I've met him twice. He's never given me, pro-Nazi vibes, but I don't know, man.
Well, he certainly wants to take their money.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm looking at it too. Is
Yeah.
You're willing to take their money and whatnot, but at the same time, that's like certain politicians saying that I don't endorse Nazis, but take the endorsement kind of thing. So,
yeah, and that's and now we're starting to slip into a different type of podcast.
Yeah, so
we're gonna come right back.
Move along.
All right, let's go into the next story here.
In Hello Sydney news, Neve Campbell has confirmed that she is set to officially return as Sydney Prescott for the next film, the Scream franchise. She also announced that Scream franchise creator and writer Kevin Williamson will direct the next installment of the franchise. We're getting Neve Campbell back. Kind of interesting, right? But I think they had to do this because Jenny Ortega has also ended up bowing out to scheduling conflicts with Wednesday season 2. She had to make the call. She said, next Scream or Wednesday, I'm going Wednesday. So Campbell shared a script page on Instagram where she confirmed her return. So we know a script has been completed. We don't know yet when the movie will start filming. So the earliest we can expect the next Scream is 2025. All right, Neve Campbell back. We good?
I'm good with that. Neve Campbell is a staple in that franchise, and her coming back and making sure. I mean, she revitalized the franchise when she came back in the first place. So I mean, I think it's a good move for her to continue on, as long as the script is good. You know what I mean? Like, don't just make movies just to make movies. Like, don't go in the realm of like Halloween and Friday the 13th where it's just become schlock. Which I know that's what Pot Out at Night loves, but Graveyard is a lover of all that stuff. But I mean, like, continue to make the franchise something worth watching, something good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
I might actually watch this one. I actually stopped watching after she left. So, not intentionally. I just actually was like, I don't need to watch these anymore. And she just happened to leave then. So.
I actually really like the Scream franchise. I always thought the premise was interesting. Plus, they filmed some of it in Sonoma County, where I'm from. So it was kind of cool to check out. So yeah, I'm all for this. Bring her back.
Wait, so Graveyard's telling me that there was only one without her. Oh, well, I stopped after 3. So I just assumed everybody was done then. So I think that was kind of why I was like, oh yeah, we've done 3. I think that's good. In 3s, 3, 5, 7. That for
there you go.
You group things together in 3, 5s, and 7 for flow. Never mind.
Move along.
I was gonna let you sit on that one. Okay, more movie news. Oppenheimer won Best Director and Best Picture at the 2024 Oscars. Now fans are curious about what Christopher Nolan's going to do next. According to a report from Variety, Nolan is currently weighing his two options for the next movie. One is a remake of The Prisoner, the Patrick McGowan's mystery.
Before you say the second one, I want to have a prediction.
Okay,
He's going to do a Bee Gees biopic.
there you go. Did we talk about that? We talked about that, right?
Yes, it was Ridley Scott.
Oh, okay. I love how you jumped in to do it so Phil wouldn't throw his opinion and steal your thunder. So
I waited until he was drinking. I'm so sad.
So smart. Okay. Prisoner, the mystery thriller TV series from the 1960s. Christopher Nolan does love his old school film and TV. This is a project that Nolan was actually attached to back in 2009, but never moved forward. Later that year, The Prisoner was developed into an AMC series, but Nolan wasn't involved. There is no info on what the second film project might be.
Calling it now, Bee Gees biopic.
Bee Gees. Starring Justin Timberlake. That would be great. Can you imagine?
And Jimmy Fallon.
Oh my god, that'd be so incredible if they brought him in. But they played it super serious. They had to be. It's got to be a drama, you know.
Yes, like really awesome. Hard, like overly dramatic drama.
Yeah. That would actually make me really happy.
And Cillian Murphy can be the other Bee Gee that I don't know the name of. I know Robin and Barry, and then it's like Arthur, Theodore, and like Simon, right?
Barry Gibbs, baby.
Simon Theodore. That's awesome.
And Alvin.
That's interesting though. Like Christopher Nolan, like he's won all the awards. He's creating these
I mean, just look at the picture. Films. He's a serious film director.
At this point, Nolan can do whatever he wants.
Exactly. And that's what I was
and he is going to knock it out of the water. There's only one Nolan film that I haven't seen, and not for lack of not wanting to watch it. Just it's one of those movies that I haven't watched yet, and I need to watch it. It's the same situation I was talking with Fray on the show about yesterday, where like my ADHD just won't let me start watching it. And that's Dunkirk.
I haven't seen Dunkirk either, but that's just because I feel like I'm just going to cry through the majority of it and then vomit for the rest of it because it's so stressful.
With me, it's like I have this like anxiety to start things, but then once I watch it, I like regret that I didn't watch it before.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was saying with Wonka. Like, I was like, I just didn't like, because I had that feeling like, if I watch too much with Timothée Chalamet in it, who I've actually adopted now. But
he's rooming with Shadu.
No, he's got his whole own house. See, when I adopt celebrities, they still live their lives like they normally would. There is nothing that changes in their lives at all. They don't even know about it unless they watch the show. And you know what? Timothée Chalamet might.
Yeah, he's still allowed to date Kardashians as he wants, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, when they're out in the world, I only teach them what I know, and then their choices are their own. Mm-hmm. So that's it. And I feel like, James, you could take that because once you let them out into the world, I mean, they have to make their own choices. So if they want to revolt, they can revolt.
But I do want to picture Shadu and Timothée Chalamet having bunk beds. Still, is that okay? I just want to make sure we keep that.
I think the ceiling in his
best friends.
Did we just become best friends?
Yep. Okay, let's keep it going.
Move along.
That's why Shadu's not here. He's having a sleepover with Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah, he's on the press tour right now with Dune.
Yeah.
All right, so now in Mostess movie news, Ari Aster, who I actually haven't seen anything he's ever directed, so that's why I wanted to do this. He apparently has directed Heredity, Midsommar, Not movies I would normally watch. So, has gathered together an impressive cast for his next film project, Eddington. The cast includes Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal, Emma Stone. That sounds lame. Luke Grimes, Austin Butler, Deidre O'Connell, Michael Ward, and Clifton Collins Jr.
He's got a pretty massive cast right there.
That's it. Well, I mean, you've got the weird one, Joaquin. You've got reluctant daddy, Pedro. You've got ingenue / single mom in Emma. Luke Grimes.
Isn't he a country singer?
He's an everyman, though. He's got that everyman vibe. Austin Butler, the pretty young kid,
can also melt into any role.
Yeah, that's true. Deidre O'Connell. Well, you got to have an Irish person in there, especially a female. Michael Ward. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure he's fantastic. Or they. And Clifton Collins Jr. The man knows how to have a name.
Clifton Collins Jr. is hilarious. That guy's actually...
No, he is. I know. I was like, but I love saying his name. Clifton Collins Jr. So, yeah. Well, so apparently Eddington is a dark Western noir comedy. And when previously talking about it, the filmmaker said, for like 5 years, I was trying to get that Western noir dark ensemble comedy going. Although it's sort of I don't know, you'd call it a revisionist Western. It's contemporary. One foot is in the Western and one foot is even more heavily in the noir genre. So it's like a film noir ensemble Western dark comedy. Astor will direct from his own script and produce. My question is, what is a dark Western noir comedy exactly?
It's a Western that takes place all at night, with a bad campfire. That's all I know.
And Nick Cage pops up randomly as Spider-Man noir.
Yeah, they're watching Blazing Saddles at night by campfire, and that's the dark Western noir comedy.
There's going to be like death jokes in it, is basically what it is, and like, you know, grave comedy, gallows comedy, and stuff like that. Like that's usually for like a dark Western. That's usually what you have, is like things like that. But then like,
is it going to be like Bustin' Scrubs? What was that? The Ballad of Buster Scrubs?
The Ballad of Buster Scrubs is actually a really good example of a dark Western comedy. Now noir adding in there is,
I mean, but that's more anthology, isn't it? Like they went anthology.
That is, but more so the tone of that film is dark noir, is dark Western comedy. Adding in a noir aspect to that is going to be interesting to see like how they add that in there.
Giddy up, see? Nah, see? Hi, I Silver, see?
It's more so like the internal monologue and the narrative. The biggest part of noir is like that the hero doesn't win. In the end of everything, in every noir film that there is, there's always a mistake that is made that costs the main character their sanity or their life.
Oh, yeah. And it's all in shades of gray.
Yes.
Because it's usually filmed in black and white.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Because, again, especially a dark comedy lends itself to the genre of noir and putting it in the West. So there's a lot of analyzing what this is going to be. And coming from a guy who mostly does horror films, it makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Did you guys see Poor Things? I think it's streaming now with Emma Stone.
I have not yet.
I haven't watched it yet. I feel like I need to like bolster my confidence before I watch it.
It's a odd and interesting film. Like I didn't expect that when we watched it. I'm like, oh, what is this? A period piece? But is very different than I expected it to be. Yeah. That being said, Santa will be back, but he's also a bitch. Arnold Schwarzenegger has signed on to star opposite Alan Ritchson.
Oh wow!
in the upcoming Christmas comedy feature, The Man with the Bag, that is being produced by Amazon MGM Studios. Okay. And Adam Shankman
Adam Shackman.
is directing the film from a script penned by Alan Rice.
I prefer Shankman.
Adam Shackman. No, that's an inside joke from like a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay.
So Arnold Schwarzenegger and Alan Ritchson. This is funny. Maybe this is like a weird like handoff. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger's gonna hand off like all the Arnold roles to Alan Ritchson. That'd be great.
I think Alan Ritchson deserves a better career than that.
Come on, like put him in.
Don't
Predator?
we need to change the actual picture on the screen?
Oh, yeah, yes.
I did actually put it in the private chat first, so I didn't want to call you out.
I'm on the document. That's why, so I don't see what's going on over there.
Get the dual monitor. Do it. It's not a tumor opsis. Get in the Christmas chopper synopsis.
Do it. Hold on.
Do it. Come on. Do it now.
It's not a tumor opsis. Get in the Christmas chopper synopsis.
The log line reads, when Santa's magic bag is stolen, he turns to his naughty list to find Vance, a former thief, to help him get it back. Along with his daughter, Santa and a group of misfit elves, Vance will have to pull off the greatest heist of his life to save Christmas. The film is set to shoot later this year. Who will play Santa Claus, and will they be a bitch?
Arnold is playing Santa for sure. Right?
Oh, you think so?
And he's definitely not going to be a bitch.
I am not a bitch.
Yeah. Now Vance is definitely going to be Alan Ritchson, because if you're gonna do a movie where it's like a thief has to pull off a heist for Christmas, like have the young strapping dude who is like the up and comer in Hollywood right now be that character.
Who's literally a wall. He's a wall.
What I really want to see is I want to see the two of them up against each other and see like who is the bigger guy.
Oh, here's what I want. I want a dance number with him.
Oh God. Because I kind of want to see, is Alan Ritchson just as tall as Arnie? Or is he taller than Arnie? Or is he shorter than Arnie? And it like puts perspective into like how big he is, even though Arnold's not as big as he used to be. Like, just to get the perspective of like how big Alan Ritchson actually is.
Yeah, but you don't change height, do you? When you
No, and that's why I'm saying like that's where
you do
will be made is based on their height.
Okay,
Yes.
I could see that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because if Alan Ritchson is like a lot shorter than Arnold Schwarzenegger, then that kind of in my mind makes Alan Ritchson not as big as I thought he was.
Mhm.
Versus if he's taller than Arnold Schwarzenegger, then it's like he might actually be bigger than Arnie.
Yeah. Arnold
know,
Schwarzenegger is 5'6", by the way.
So I really
That's
liked
crazy.
Alan Ritchson when he played Aquaman in Smallville, but I think I
Yeah.
liked him better when he played Hawk in
Yeah.
the Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he might actually be pretty happy with our next story if you guys want to get into it.
Let's do
Oh
it.
man, that is a amazing transition. Also because there's a possibility that he might be Batman too. So let's talk about this.
Titans together. I finally get to say it. Yay!
Yay!
That was just a me thing. All right, so live action Teen Titans movie is officially in development at DC Studios. I'm so excited. You don't even know how excited I am about it. And in parentheses, it says, cue Fray fangirling everywhere. James Gunn, my Lord and Savior, and Peter Safran are leading the charge on the project and have hired Anna Nogueira.
Yeah.
Nogueira. Okay. To write the script. She previously worked on the script for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. So Gunn and Safran must like her work. Also, I think like the way like you would write Supergirl for that Supergirl World of Tomorrow, And the way Teen Titans are written, the comics are pretty similar, where it's less about their powers and more about them, coming together as a team and using each other to help defeat something bigger than themselves. And so I think that's great. So anyway, I'm going to get off my weird Titan soapbox and do an opsis.
Oh.
Sidekicks are cool. Opsis. Who is Donna Troy? Synopsis.
You didn't. All right. Sidekicks are cool. Opsis. Who is Donna Troy? Synopsis. Oh, don't you ever disrespect Wonder Girl like that.
They only had 4 different origins for her in the Titans, but whatever. All right. Initially introduced in the 60s, the Teen Titans are a dynamic team of young superheroes who come together to protect the world from various threats. The team has changed throughout the years, but the mission remained the same: Titans together. Throughout their adventures, the Teen Titans have faced off with villains such as Deathstroke, Trigon, and the Brotherhood of Evil, while also navigating the complexities of teenage life. There's no word on what we can expect from the story or the film, but this could end up being a lot of fun. I mean, it really could, because it's like sidekicks and all the younger ones. I just think a lot of people could relate to this more than, say, like a Batman and a Superman, because they could see themselves as these guys. So what do we want from a live action Teen Titans movies, y'all?
Obviously, Robin.
Stable. He's a stable.
Yeah. I definitely want Wally West.
Let's pick. Okay, you can have five characters.
Okay.
Who are your 5?
Dick Grayson, Wally West. It gets a little harder for the next 3 though. I kind of do want Raven, because she kind of does have that dark energy, and that could also give you reason to bring in Trigon.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off on a limb on this one a little bit, but Speedy is definitely somebody who I think would work really well.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. And just mostly because I would love to see Arsenal at some point, and that's kind of like where you get that origin, right?
Or Red Arrow.
Red Arrow is cool too. When he goes independent, but I think the best iteration of Roy is Arsenal when he loses his arm.
Yeah, there's a nice maturity to the stories after that.
Right.
He turns into Arsenal.
Right. And then definitely Donna Troy. I love Wonder Girl. I think she's an amazing character, and I think that she meshes really well.
How about you, Fray?
I was gonna say a close
No, you don't get you get 5. That's it. 5.
Doing 1. Runner up would be Martian Girl.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that.
Okay, so I'm going a little bit different here, because I think that they're not going to do the 60s versions of the Titans, and the original 5 were Robin, Kid Flash, Aqualad, Speedy, and they were the 4 in Brave and the Bold. When they went to Teen Titans, they introduced Donna Troy as Wonder Girl, which started the whole "Who is Donna Troy" thing, because she was Wonder Woman as a girl when she was Wonder Girl in the Wonder Woman comics. So that's what started that off. Anyway, so those were the original 5. But I really feel like the 80s version is probably what they're going to do. Just from the other stuff that James Gunn has been doing. He really likes that 80s, 90s era. So I think we're going to get that Titans group. And I think we'll actually get Deathstroke and Ravager as their first villains. And it's going to really, those first 6 issues and they may actually cut out some of it and may switch to, and just layer it, because the storylines of those are so A-B story, whereas you could do an ABC story with the Titans so you could fold into some of the Cyclops stuff where he's trying to feel better about himself. So I really think they're going to go with the new Teen Titans and the first iteration of them when Wolfman and Perez did it. And it would be a nice nod to Perez since he passed away a few years ago. So it'd be
Right.
nice to see his team come back. And so I would say that of the core ones, we will get Dick Grayson. Now, I think we might get him as Robin in the very, very, very beginning, but I think pretty quickly they're going to want to do Judas Contract and get him
Ooh, yes.
Nightwinged. And I
Mhm.
think that's where we'll see it. So I think we'll see Robin, we'll see Donna. I don't think we'll see Wally on a regular basis. I think he'll be a reserve member. So I won't count him in my top 5.
Okay.
So we're going to get Robin, we're going to get Donna, we're going to get Raven, we're going to get Starfire, and we're going to get Beast Boy. I think those are going to be the ones. I think we'll get introduced to Cyborg through the movie because you kind of get introduced to him in the beginning of that. And I think Wally will come in, but I don't think he'll be, I think he'll say at the end of the movie, I'm not going to be a Titan. You guys can call me whenever you want, but I can't do it because it's really like Junior Justice League in the beginning of it, where they had reserve members and they had other members. So I think we'll do that. I think Starfire will come in at some point, but I think that might be if the first movie goes well, then the second movie will be like the introduction of Starfire and a more cosmic. So, but that's just my take on it. I hope it wasn't too much.
Actually, you brought up Aqualad, and again, I've said this in the past. Calderon is my favorite iteration of Aqualad, and I would love to see Calder in this just because I know you've mentioned that you like who's the first Aqualad? Garth. I know you've mentioned that you like Garth better, right? But I feel like I feel the same way about Calderon that I feel about Jon Stewart, is that when they did the rewrite on the character, he became more of a leader and had more of a leadership role, and that made him more compelling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And I think that with that and the relationship that he has with his father, I mean, you can do a whole Black Mana storyline, especially with the way that we just got Black Mana in
Aquaman
Lost Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
You know, like you can do a reboot of Black Mana, have him be this ruthless pirate, and finding out that Calderon is his son that is half Atlantean. And he is like a master waterman. He's master in watermancy. I would love to see a live action version of Calderon with the way that they rewrote the character. Sorry, I took up a lot more than I should have. James,
well,
go ahead and take over.
No, I actually have a rebuttal to that, James, if you don't mind. Okay.
Go for it.
So my rebuttal is, here's what I'm thinking. If you're introducing the 80s version of the new Teen Titans, you still have, hey, there's a picture on the wall of the original 5, the original Aqualad. Suddenly they get an emergency call from Aqualad and they don't know what's going on. Someone's murdered him. Ooh. And it leads them to new Aqualad. And they think he killed him at first, but then they team up and they go after the real person that killed them, Black Mana. And that's when Black Mana says, I'm your father. And then it freaks everybody out. There you go. There you go. There you go. And then
done. Fray is available at any time if you want to.
And Beast Boy can say the things like, hey, does this remind you guys of like the old classic movie with the guy in the black helmet or something? Like it totally like lends itself to all of that.
Yeah. Beast Boy is a good character to do like non sequitur fourth wall breaks where it's like it's a wall break, but not intentionally a fourth wall break. Like Beast Boy is a good character to do that with. So I'm sorry, James, what is your 5?
I think you nailed pretty much everybody. Show that book, by the way, that Travis gave you from WB.
That's what
WB
I want to
Collectibles. There you go. Speaking of that,
I love that like one shot that they did there. I love it. I love it.
I would say at first I wanted to say you have to have, Beast Boy and Cyborg in it. That being said, we have seen Beast Boy and Cyborg a couple different times. So I think they may stray away from them. And I agree with most of what both of you were saying. Like adding Raven would add a nice little dimension and a nice little like, hey, if we wanted to hit the Trigon stuff, we can hit the Trigon stuff at any time. Same thing goes with Calder. You know, you can easily mix that storyline. The Young Justice version of Calder, I love that version.
Yes.
And I really like that version. And
I love Young Justice. I
Yeah.
loved it so much.
But then
And
like they took that character and ran with it in the comics, and now he is like a LGBTQ staple character, because they came out as bi. He had a boyfriend. There was a whole storyline where they killed his boyfriend, and he and he went along on this rampage to like find who the killer was. So it's like, you know, there are so many good storylines with Calderon and the rewrites that they did with him.
As far as the first 5, I like the idea of it's got to be Robin.
Yeah.
Like you got to have Robin.
Yes.
But I definitely want to see that change from Robin into Nightwing, and maybe this is a good way to adjacently show Damian as Robin as well. You know, because they're transitioning into the Batman Brave and the Bold with Damian. So I think this may be a good way to like show the teen angst of Damian and how it works and doesn't work with everybody else, and how the chemistry is just off.
If they did the Titans with a different Robin, like I mean, all of us I think want Dick Grayson, right? I mean, that's because he's the one that really started the Teen Titans. I mean, he was the one who was like, I don't like this anymore, Batman. I'm tired of being your sidekick.
Right.
I'm gonna get with my friends.
But if the world is lived in at this point and they've had like years of everything, they have to do something in the 80s that shows like Robin at his peak, or it would have to be Tim Drake as Red Robin at this point, and you already have Dick Grayson as Nightwing showing up, but he's not like a mainstay character, because if you're going into Damian Wayne, right, and you do something more current, then it would make more sense to do Red Robin as a member of the Teen Titans than to do Dick Grayson, because then you have to kind of fast forward through 3 different Robins, and one of them was only there briefly because Jason was only on Teen Titans for like a very short amount of time before they killed him off. So it's like,
I do hope they do not use a version of Superboy in this, just because it's so OP. Like, once you introduce a version of Superman, it's like, what are we doing here? It's almost the same thing with Flash. It's hard to, or Kid Flash. It's hard to like,
I agree with
have that in a battle and not be OP,
especially with Wally being faster than
Barry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then like in the comics, there's 2 Wallies, and that's weird, and so it's like, there's just it's odd. So yeah, you might stay away from the Flash part right now. I mean, like in the comics, it makes sense because all of those heroes have lived in the world for a long time. So when you have their younger versions or their sidekicks, it makes sense. So yeah, you would have to look at that too. It really just depends on the world that they're crafting. So
now I want to go back and watch Young Justice because it's so good.
It is so good. Like I liked the Titans that they did on HBO, and then it was a Max series. I did like that. I liked how they did it where it was the 2-tier. It was like the younger kids coming in, but the ones that were the original sidekicks were mentoring them. I did like that. I just don't know if that's the way to go.
The guy,
and it could be one of those things where they come together because one of the old members died. And they have the younger ones helping them, and then they decide at the end to just reform the Titans. I mean, that could also be it too. So there's a lot of ways they can go with this.
Yeah, the dude who played Dick, like he fit Robin so well, and when he became Nightwing, like the costume was so on point.
What was his name? Like Thwaites or something? I'm gonna look him up.
Brendan Thwaites.
There you go.
It was Brendan Thwaites.
Yeah, he was really good. I liked him. Good stuff. All right, let's keep it going. Enough of this DC talk. Oh wait.
Batman's real nemesis release dates.
Oh no.
Oh no. Warner Brothers has announced that the release date for Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 has been pushed back a whole year. The movie was moved from October 3rd, 2025
Seriously.
to October 2nd, 2026. The delay is most likely due to last year's lengthy writers and actors strike. While we wait, though, we've got Colin Farrell, the Penguin series coming later this year. Like Colin Phil. Are you
Colin
are you-
Phil the Penguin
are
series.
you calling me that? Is that what you're saying? Coming later this year, and the events of that will lead into the Batman sequel. There have been reports that Batman will appear in the series, but we'll just have to wait and see. The Batman Part 2 will release on October 2nd, 2026. But will it though?
That's kind of sad that we got to wait 2 years now, like 2.5 years for this movie. But
And we've already waited a couple of years since that movie came out.
yeah, and we're not getting Superman Legacy. Oh wait, Superman until like
Yeah.
July of 25, right? So we have over
Yeah.
a year for DC stuff to happen. Ugh.
Oh yeah, no, actually, Graveyard. They did say that there's talk that Hush actually is going to be the villain of this one.
Movie,
Yeah,
Or at
yeah.
least
There was like
introducing,
just like a little blurb about it. So who knows if
Yeah.
that's true or not? But,
or they're at least introducing Ellis. So I mean, like
Mhm.
that's going to be a big kind of point in that. Like if it's not Hush, that
Yeah.
then at least they're introducing Ellis as a character.
yeah, and and that might be it. I'd rather a slow burn on Hush than a wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I like the idea of Professor Pig because Professor Pig can he can transition to Hush pretty easily with the way that the two
Mhm.
characters operate, right? And especially if you're doing like a real world version of the characters, like Professor Pig is a terrifying character
Mhm.
to portray in real life, especially with the way that Paul Dano did the Riddler. You can see them doing a version of Professor Pig that
Yeah.
is just a complete psychopath and just operating on people in
Mhm.
in like dark alley places and whatnot. And then you get Hush, who's a plastic surgeon, right? So it's like you have that. And then Graveyard also talking about we need Court of Owls. I would love to see them pull off the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
And this is this is the world to do that.
Yeah.
The world that they've created, the Matt Reeves Batman,
Right.
is very much where the Court of Owls could not only live but like thrive.
Yeah,
and so
right.
I feel like that, yeah, I could absolutely see that as like their the big reveal is that all of this has been Court of Owls.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the street level, if kind of like relating relating it to Marvel, like street level type of villains like Riddler and Professor Pig, Peppa Pig, whatever his name is. You know what I mean? Like you could see that happening.
Her little brother did not have a good life, okay?
Right? He was scarred. Peppa Pig's brother was scarred.
And then he's saying that could also lead to race. And anything in the Batman universe can lead to Ra's al Ghul. So I mean, like,
All roads lead to Raish.
I know. What I really want to do is, we know that there are young martial artists that are out there, right? Like the big example being
We have friends of the show that are young martial artists.
right? But I mean, like the biggest example being the kid who played Aang in the last Airbender. You can get a kid who's like 13, 14, Middle Eastern, to play Damian Wayne, right?
Mhm.
Because remember,
or Filipino. I'm okay with that too.
I mean, that's not a stretch. You can do that. But I mean, like,
Does Simu Liu have any like young brothers? Because
I don't know.
That one might be good.
I mean, like for Damian Wayne, I feel like he needs to be Middle Eastern because Ra's al Ghul is technically is technically Persian. So it's like, I think that would be a good fit to have his son be, half Middle Eastern, half white, and you have this brash kid, but like you get a martial artist because they exist. We know they exist because half of the Avatar cast is all guys that are like 15, 16 years old and they're martial artists. So I'd love to see like a Middle Eastern martial artist, like a young Middle Eastern martial artist, be Damian Wayne and just see that anger out of him. I would love to see that character. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent again. Let's.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just excited, man. I'm excited.
I was just thinking that Timothy Chalamet would make a good Nightwing.
His stage fighting is good enough that I think he could do it. He's a little skinny though. That's the only thing that worries me about like that kind of stuff is
They can always bulk up. Or
Yeah, I was
or
going to
once
say
you put
he's
that
never
suit on-
tried to bulk up. He's never had to. They wanted him thin for Dune.
but he also is very athletic, which is what you need for Dick
Yeah.
Grayson.
But look at him in the Dune suit, right?
Yeah.
That's all you really need. You know, if you think about it, Dick Grayson is an acrobat more than he's a martial artist. you
Right,
know?
and that's why I was saying
So
like,
him-
he's very lean, he's very athletic, so I think that lends itself for a young Dick Grayson.
I could add, like, I was thinking about it. Like, I was like, oh, you know, I could see him being Nightwing because I think that might be a fun role for him to do after all this.
I think Nightwing needs to be Asian. I'm sorry, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yes,
I-
yes, we
I
all know
agree.
that that's how you think.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
not-
let's keep it going.
yeah,
let's
it's not
keep it
hard to make him Asian. All right.
Speaking of Batman, ever dance with a symbiote in the pale moonlight? What? Sony Pictures has revealed the official title for Venom 3. Drumroll.
I actually have a drum roll. I have to get to it.
Venom Dirty Dancing. No, Venom The Last Dance.
Oh God.
Uh,
Okay.
Okay. They also
It's
announced
my last chance for romance tonight.
They also announced that the film's release date was moved up from November 8th, 2024 to October 25th, and it will screen in IMAX on PLFs.
Parachute landing fall.
Yes. There are no details to share.
Performative life, friends.
Sure.
No other PLFs. Anybody?
Projection light filament. I don't know.
Pretty little
Fucker.
Philipot.
Okay, on that note, there are no details to share in regard to the story, but co-star Juno Temple did tease the movie saying, I'm learning lots. It's fun and interesting because there are so many things that you film that when the movie finally comes out, it will look different to what they were when we were filming them. I'm excited to see the creations that happen off camera as well. Venom 3 is directed by Kelly Marcel. She also wrote the first two Venom films. The script of the third film is based on the story that she developed with Hardy. The movie is produced by Marcel, Avi Arad, Matt Tamak, Amy Pascal, and Hutch Parker. Yes. Venom The Last Dance will burst onto screens on October 25th, 2024. We're getting it, like, what is that, 6 months?
Yeah,
Ish.
it's like it's not that far away.
Is that weird? That's weird.
No,
You're
it's
ha-
not. I haven't seen any of them, so okay. Whenever it comes out, it comes out.
Well, Young Phil has spent good money to see the Venom franchise in theaters, and he's very pleased.
I'm not.
All of the out money well spent, Young Phil. Well done.
I have seen them in theater. I am not like the first movie I was okay with because it's like, okay, it's a stretch.
Yeah.
They're kind of changing things. I don't like the way they did Eddie Brock, but it's okay. And then Carnage was a bastardization of those characters. I'm not happy with it. And now I know in this last movie, especially with the name of the movie, The Last Dance, they think they've earned Noel. They have not earned Noel, and they're going to do that. Because the way that they've built the story out is like the symbiotes are their own entities. They're their own kind of like Venom is the name of the symbiote itself rather than it being the creation of Eddie and the symbiote together the way it's supposed to be. So I think that they've earned the right to do Null because they're just like, oh, we can do the God of the symbiotes, and it'll make sense because we've created these symbiotes that are their own thinking beings on their own. They're gonna ruin Null the way that they ruined Carnage, because they did not do Carnage correctly, and I'm not happy with what they've done. This is going to be the first time I see, because the second movie, I'm going to be waiting until this movie comes on video, because I'm not going to waste my money on this.
Oh, come on.
No, they
Three.
Sony has not put out anything aside from the stuff that they've worked with Disney on. They have not put out anything that has been worthy of the properties that they have. Madam Web is terrible, and like nobody, even the actors that were in the movie are like distancing themselves from it.
Graveyard said it best. Venom 3, the last chance to make a good live action Sony Marvel movie.
Now, supposedly the rumor is that Spider-Man is supposed to show up in this as well, and it's supposed to be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Sure. How many Morbius, Madam Webs, Venoms, Carnage, or Cravens with no Spider-Man? Sure, Spider-Man's going to show up.
This is also
Craven has abs.
Yeah, this is also the third entry in Venom, and it's been one of those things that fans have been asking for since the first one. So I mean, like, again, all the rest of the movies they've put out have proven nothing to me, but you guys don't know what you're doing, and you guys don't care enough about the fans that are out there to do anything about it, because sadly, us as fans have gone out to go see the Venom movies and give them money to make them think that we care about these movies.
Don't you?
Okay, I have a really good analogy for the superhero movie business before the MCU. So here's the analogy. You were with someone you dated, let's say in high school, college, something like that, young dating. Mm-hmm. And you really just are used to this person, and you're trying to make it work so hard that you just rush into a lot of things, and you put pieces into things that don't belong there, and you try and you see them in a way that no one else sees them. Basically, it's a toxic relationship, people. Yeah. Superhero movies and studios have had toxic relationships. They rush things. They try to shoehorn things in that should never be in them. And because of that, we get the quality that we had gotten since the 80s. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't gotten any better. And the MCU did it in a new way. And everyone's they don't know. They don't understand how serialized storytelling can be told in a movie format. Right. And they're slowly starting to get that. Sony is very stubborn, and they will never change the way they do things. So sell the freaking characters back to freaking Marvel and Disney, and just leave it alone. Just get out of it.
Sony just wants money, and they just see it as they're going to continue making money if they put these movies out. Now, Madam Web, Morbius have shown that their formula is not what they think it is. And I guarantee you, when Craven comes out, it's going to be the same exact thing. I think enough fans are fed up with the way that Sony is making these movies that I want to say
when you have to lie to stars to get them to do your movie.
Oh yeah,
that's what they did with Madam Web. They lied to them and told them, "Oh yeah, no, it is MCU." It wasn't. Right. It had nothing to do with that. They thought they were in an MCU Marvel Studios movie, and they weren't. They lied to them about it, and it was horrible. And I haven't seen it yet. And yes, I'm making a snap judgment, but I like my mental health more than that. So
there's not been one good review for that movie. And again, the actors themselves are distancing themselves from the movie. That should say a lot about the quality of that movie. Is if there's no good reviews, even from people who tend to give good reviews for for these kinds of movies. And you have the actors saying, yeah, no, nobody's going to go watch this movie. This movie sucks.
Yeah.
You know, like that. This tells me even more that I don't want to go see this.
Okay, James, give it to us. Tell us why we're wrong.
Well, I was trying to figure out your analogy, like the whole high school thing, and I was thinking like it's like you're a sophomore in high school and you're dating a cheerleader and it's your first girlfriend and you're like, oh my god, life couldn't get any better, and then after a month she dumps you to date a taller senior that you never saw coming, and then you're heartbroken. Is that your analogy, or is that my real life? Because I can't.
I mean, that's a
can't
really
separate.
specific instance. So I don't know if we could use that as an analogy, but
I was really good to her. I was super nice.
but there were probably signs that you guys were not right for each other. And
That she was
because
5'10" and I was like 5'4" at the time. Maybe that. was a
but
good
yeah,
sign.
but we've all had those relationships where you're like,
Yeah.
no, but I really like this relationship and I really want to
Uh-huh.
be in a relationship. I need to be in a relationship. And because of that, you ignore that, oh, I don't know, they're bringing bags of blood home. I mean, it's like you start
Yeah,
seeing
okay.
really red flags and you're like, no.
I
And I
should have.
feel
I
like
should have
that's where
thought about
Sony
the
is.
blood. I should have thought about the bags of blood. You're right.
Sony,
Right.
I'm breaking up with you, Sony. I'm breaking up with you.
Not quite yet, because sweet Christmas, we get Nick Cage. Maybe. Come on, Sony. Let's make this happen. A few weeks ago, it was reported that Nick Cage was in talks to star in Sony's live-action Spider-Man Noir series, and it turns out that rumor may be true. Cage confirmed there have been conversations about reprising his Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse role in live action. Cage shared with Collider, I can say that we have been talking. It's no secret that I love the character. Cage also described the character as a mashup of sorts, one that was inspired by Golden Age actors like Edward G. Robinson, James Cagney, and Humphrey Bogart. The actor said, I can combine my favorite Golden Age performances, Robinson, Cagney, Bogart, with a character that is, I guess, widely considered to be Stan Lee's masterpiece. Mwah. I see it as a kind of foray into a pop art mashup of sorts. Mashup by the way of Bogart and Cagney, but nothing definitive yet. It's just conversation. Huh? Right? More Spider-Man from Sony?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
this is where I get a little bit excited from the things that Sony's doing, is when it comes to anything that's involved with Spider-Verse that they've done right. You know what I mean? Like, this is directly coming from animation, and it's coming from the same producers and writers. So I'm okay with this. If they're going to do a live action version of something that they've already done right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Then I'm more in line with this. I love Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
Spider Noir.
I thought it was a great performance. You know, because sometimes Nick can get a little campy. And,
Right.
and I think that this was the perfect character for him to get that kind of camp out on. Plus, he's a massive nerd, so he's not gonna do these characters wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? By the way, shout out to our boy LaDonathan Jenkins in the chat right now, aka the Dilly Dillster, aka our boy Dillard Skillard from former host of the Hardly Heroes podcast, is in our Instagram chat.
What up,
yay.
Dilly? Good to see you, bud. So we talked about Spider-Man Noir coming out of Into the Spider-Verse, which is great. The project is also being developed by the Punisher writer and producer Steve Lightfoot as the co-showrunner, and he is joined by Oren Uzel, who is a writer on the project and will serve alongside Lightfoot as co-showrunner. So I mean, we're putting some money into this. You know, I kind of like this. So will we get Nick Cage again, or are we just Moonstruck.
Again, I think this is happening, and mainly because if you know the Spider-Man noir comic books, Pete never takes his mask off. So it doesn't matter that Nick Cage is a little bit older, right? Because he's always going to have the mask on, and you're going to get this whole noir storyline. I would love to see Nick Cage channeling James Cagney as Spider-Man. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
I would love to see Nick Cage like revitalize it, because you see this. So like this is Spider-Man noir. Ari Aster's has a concept for a Western noir comedy, and then you've got like, so I wonder if that's where we're going now. Is that whole like noir type, like fusion, like fusion food, but like with movies. It's like, the whole where you mash a lot of stuff together. And so, yeah, so I mean, I could see this whole noir genre just like being revitalized with all of this, and actually starting to see that more. And I would love it. I think that's awesome. I love noir. I think it's amazing.
Me too. I love noir. It's kind of like when you're in high school and dating a 5'10" cheerleader, but then she dumps you after a month for a taller
Is there a
senior.
Story that you want to get out? Like, do you
No,
need,
I'm just relating. I'm
do
just
you need
relating
us to
the
like
stories.
leave so that you can actually just do this like reintroduce yourself to this 5'10" cheerleader?
It's analogies, right? We're doing analogies. No?
Let's just make sure Jenny never hears this episode.
She hasn't heard 166 other ones, so it doesn't matter. Let's keep it going though.
Let's move right along.
Move along.
And you know what? Let's talk about something I need to talk about. Not another title. It really has been Agatha all along. I'm convinced that's why they have to keep changing the titles, because really Agatha's really there.
What if they just trolled everybody the entire time?
Yeah. It's really not coming out. They've just done all of this as one long con. When Marvel first announced the WandaVision spinoff series that would focus on Agatha, it was titled Agatha, House of Harkness. Remember those days, those halcyon days? This was later changed to Agatha, Coven of Chaos. Another title even came up with Agnes of Westview, before the show's title was ultimately changed to Agatha Darkhold Diaries. Well, now the series has a new title, Agatha. I feel like maybe their font, like, Agatha. Did they buy the font by the letter? Because to me, that's the only way this actually makes sense. All right. I do have an opsis. Agatha, House of Harkness, Coven of Opsis, Darkhold Diaries synopsis.
Agatha, House of Harkness, Coven of Opsis, Darkhold Diaries synopsis.
Agatha Harkness finds herself powerless after breaking out of her containment in Westview, New Jersey. She looks to some unlikely allies to join her on her quest to regain her former powers. No date when we will be going back to Westview.
Interesting.
So I like the idea of the series and kind of like the idea of going back to Agatha Harkness. Because it can lead into so many different things. Because Agatha Harkness is linked to so many different characters within that kind of like magic aspect of the Marvel universe. But what worries me is like, why do they keep changing the name?
I think that they should. I love it because it's chaotic, and Agatha Harkness is very chaotic.
That might be why they're doing it.
Yeah, so here's something that if they haven't thought of this yet, if someone didn't say this in a meeting, shame. But and I don't say that very lightly. What if they changed the title for each episode?
Oh, that's fucking genius.
They start with Agatha, then it's like Agatha of Westview, that's when she leaves Westview. Then you've got like, like Agatha, Agnes of Westview, Agatha, like that kind of thing. And each episode is a different title. And the end episode was Agatha All Along. And that's when she gets her powers back.
Oh, that's so good.
I mean,
That's
yeah.
so good.
Genius.
That's awesome. I like that.
Yeah.
That makes
So
me happy.
Because
it was a brainwave. I just came up with it. So
that actually makes a lot of sense though, because the names that they've given it, like Agnes of Westview, House of Harkness, because that's probably going to be like an episode that goes back into her past. Coven of Chaos is going more into her coven and kind of like what they go on
when she starts finding her coven again,
right?
Or like when she does it, and then the very last episode could be Agatha All Along,
right?
And that's when she gets her powers back.
Yeah.
So it could start out Agnes of Westview, then Agatha, then it could really honestly be like that. They changed the decade for WandaVision.
Yeah.
This is just the next logical step.
Yeah, Darkhold Diaries could be like the penultimate episode where she gets a piece of the Darkhold, or maybe we do get Mephisto shows up, and Mephisto kind of like I want to say, if you have Mephisto show up, Mephisto gives her powers back.
Yeah, something like that. Like that's when she makes the deal with Mephisto.
Yeah.
Or that's when she remembers she made the deal with Mephisto and summons him, and then he comes back and goes, I'm only doing this one more time. This is it. No more chances.
That's
like something like that.
Even more like I would love if they did something where he comes in and does something unexplainable and that almost doesn't make sense, that makes you ask more questions because it leads into more Mephisto later.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. That's awesome. All right, let's keep it going. Now that's pod racing. Star Wars prequel actor Jake Lloyd portrayed young Anakin Skywalker in the first prequel film, Star Wars Episode 1. Before that role, he appeared in the Christmas film Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger. The actor had a promising start, but he decided to step away from acting and had somewhat of a rough childhood. Jake's mother, Lisa Lloyd, spoke out about when her son's troubles began and his current status and how he feels about Star Wars these days. She explained that Jake started suffering from delusions and ultimately dropped out of college after he began hearing voices. Jake has since been officially diagnosed with schizophrenia. Through his issues have persisted and were exacerbated when his sister Madison died of natural causes at age 26. Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
I really liked him back in the day too. I love Jingle All the Way. It was so cute. Such a cute kid. The actor unfortunately suffered a full-blown psychotic break last year while driving home with his mom. Jake was admitted to the hospital and is now 10 months into an 18-month mental rehabilitation facility. But that's pretty sad to learn all this about Jake. But there is a little bit of good news that his mom said he's been doing much better than expected. He is relating to people better and becoming a little bit more social, which is really nice. It's kind of like having more of the old Jake back because he has always been incredibly social until he became schizophrenic. Lisa revealed that Jake enjoyed the new Ahsoka series and that she gifted him an action figure and the character for his birthday. He loves all the new Star Wars stuff. People think Jake hates Star Wars, but he loves it. I mean, the good and the bad is that Star Wars wasn't the cause of his issues,
right?
But it's nice to see that he still has love for Star Wars. I think that part's awesome. Like, he can always look back at that, and his mom can look back at that and be like, he did some amazing work back in the day. So,
hopefully he gets the help that he needs and that he starts healing. And then once he is strong enough that maybe he can, come back into it and get to know the fans again. I mean, that's, something that because he's saying he loves it, he loves Star Wars. Yeah. That shouldn't be taken away from him because he's going through something. And that's right. So we wish him all the best. I mean, really, honestly.
All the best to Jake and his family. All right, let's keep it going.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. In The Man Called News. There have been reports of Marvel Studios developing a Nova film project for years. A couple of years ago, it was reported that the studio started working on the project with Moon Knight writer Sabir Pirzada. That version of the project was a TV series. It was later reported that Marvel was reworking it as a movie. Now there's official confirmation from Marvel's head of streaming, animation, and television, Brad Winderbaum, that Nova is in development at Marvel Studios.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, I'm excited for this. While speaking with Comic Book, he said, "We love Nova. We are in really early development with Nova. We have a new system behind the scenes at Marvel Studios. We're more like a traditional studio now. We're developing more than we actually will produce. There are plans to develop Nova. I love Nova 2. I love Rich Rider 2. I hope it gets to the screen. The world is always chaos. There's always things. You got to conjure these things to make them happen. But I would love to see a Nova show one day." So we have a opsis here. Any of you guys want to introduce the opsis for me here?
I'll do it. Xandar A-holes opsis Nova Core know what's up synopsis.
Xandar A-holes opsis Nova Core know what's up synopsis.
Before you start reading it, though, I do have to let you know I did have an alternate intro.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to know what it was?
I do.
I think we're far enough into the stream. I can say this now. It was going to say in Dick Rider news.
Yes.
And I was like, that's a little too horny for me. So I was like, I don't know.
His name
but then
is
I was like, no, I
Richard?
want to say it.
His name is. I wonder if when they came up with Richard Rider's name, that they were thinking about that. Like, oh, his name could be Dick Rider.
Yeah.
We'll have to track down Chris Marinan and ask him.
Oh my God, because Chris Marinan has done some of the most quintessential work on Nova.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm actually kind of upset we lost that interview because we lost all the interviews from that show. So, so Richard Rider was just your average teenager, not the class clown, neither the wallflower nor the cool kid. He went to high school, had girl troubles, and tried to help out his parents and younger brother when he was at home. All seemed to go their normal way for the young Richard until he came into contact with the Nova Corps. The Nova Corps was a peacekeeping force that was based on the planet Xandar. The planet was destroyed by the space pirate known as Zor when Roman Day, the Nova Prime, was dying. He fled through the universe and went to Earth. There he chose Richard Rider to receive his powers and granted him the Nova Force. He was asked by Roman Day to use his powers for the good of Earth and the universe and serve as its protector. This was a lot for teenaged Rider, but he nonetheless started a superhero career with his newfound powers as Nova, the human rocket. Basically, it's the Green Lantern for Marvel.
He was a high school kid with girl troubles. I wonder if he dated a 5'10" cheerleader.
I knew it.
And she got dumped a month later for a 6'2" senior.
Oh my God.
This gets taller and taller every time you tell the story.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask, will we get space cops in space? Like, what if season 2?
If they did the Nova Corps like they did it in that Nebula episode, I will watch whatever they put out.
Absolutely. I've been saying for a long time that we need Richard Rider. I thought at some point in Guardians that maybe one of those guys.
You need a Dick Rider, is what you're saying, young Phil?
Yeah, exactly. We need a Dick Rider. One of those guys. Well, I thought that one of those guys would have been Richard Rider. Even to the point where the dude who played Darth Maul, the guy who says, "What a bunch of assholes." He's the voice of Darth Maul, at least. I originally thought, because they hadn't named that character until like the second movie, that I thought, okay, maybe that's Richard Rider. Like as an adult, it wasn't. He's Xandarian, but I mean, like, I would have loved to have like a little bit of Richard Rider going into that, and I think it'll be a fun story to do because I think the easiest way to do it is, you can have Roman Day fleeing Xandar when Thanos destroys it, and kind of do like a rewind where when he destroys Xandar, he flees, and we get the origin story of Nova with that.
He could
Sounds a little
flee,
Superman-y.
and then he becomes his teacher.
Yeah.
And then they track him down. And that's when Nova happens. And because he doesn't understand what's going on in the cosmos,
Right.
he doesn't know what he's supposed to do and what he's not supposed to. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ooh, Taika Waititi can play his like guy in the chair.
Yeah. And I mean, you can still do Zor. Like, you can have Zor be his main villain. It just, you take out the fact that he didn't destroy Xandar because Thanos destroyed Xandar, but you can make Zor like a henchman, like an underling of Thanos at some point.
Right, yeah. Like you could say that Thanos sent Zor to do that.
Right.
Because it just says Thanos did it. But of course, the people that are like the CEOs are going to take credit for everything anyway.
I think when they wrote the story, they like, because originally they were going to show Thanos destroying Xandar, but I think they pulled that out because they were like, you know what, we're eventually going to do a Nova, and we want to retell this story, so let's go and pull this out, both for time, but also for storytelling purposes in a future story.
Yeah, I wonder how they're going to frame this, because they already have Captain Marvel out there. That's kind of got a weirdly similar origin story of like, oh, I'm a hero out of nowhere with all these powers.
Well, I mean, but in this one, he doesn't have amnesia. Like, he knows he's getting the powers from that. Yeah. But also, I think that it could be told differently, like make it a little different. And who's to say Captain Marvel doesn't know that Richard Rider is Nova? She doesn't tell people a lot of stuff. Yep. It's like a need to know basis with her, and like that she's married.
Yeah, and especially with her kind of going off and going on adventures during the time of like a lot of the stuff that's going on. Like, she could have collaborated with Nova more than once, and she doesn't have to mention that to the rest of the Avengers. True.
All right, let's keep it going. To me, my X-Men. Oh, hold on. Maybe not. In a shocking twist of events, X-Men 97 creator Bo DeMaio has been fired from the series ahead of its debut. According to The Hollywood Reporter, DeMaio's company email was deactivated, and the cast and crew were told that he was no longer on the project. DeMaio's Instagram account was also deleted, and no reason for the firing has been revealed. Marvel had no comment on the matter, and DeMaio's representatives had not released any statement, and they are not talking to anyone. So interesting. DeMaio has already completed season 2 writing duties for the animated series. He also previously worked with Marvel on Moon Knight and earlier scripts for the Blade movie. This is an odd story.
There's a lot going on right now because another writer from from Blade just left as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So something's happening behind the scenes, and it makes me believe that something really bad happened if both DeMaio and Disney are both not saying anything.
Yeah. Well, and then
like legally wise,
the whole thing that his Instagram account was deleted.
Yeah.
Like, so he doesn't want to talk about it at all because his Instagram account has nothing to do with the, like, so I mean, that's like his own. So that's really interesting. That's like, I'm thinking like maybe he was a variant from another universe.
And he got pruned. Yeah, because like
he got pruned. TVA strikes again.
Yeah, something really bad happened. He either left because he's just like, I can't be around this, or he did something really bad and Disney is just like, you cannot work here anymore.
It makes me think that maybe something from his past, like really, really bad that would get him canceled happened.
Yes.
And that the other, well, I don't know about the other writer, that could have nothing to do with anything else. But I mean, for him to delete his Instagram account, like, I mean, that's, to me, that is not just that it was something to do with him, with a conversation with Disney. Yeah, like a conflict with Disney. Like, it's
probably
something
started a TikTok or something like that. That's the problem. X-Men 97 begins streaming tomorrow on Disney Plus.
So we're going to get into some really serious news here. We're going to try our best not to get super political on this, but it's almost unavoidable in this
Speak for
story.
yourself.
Yeah, I was going to say it's almost unavoidable in this story. In social media mayhem news, ladies and gentlemen,
AKA TikTok, you don't stop.
TikTok,
Maybe you do stop.
TikTok, TikTok. No, you don't.
Tickety boo.
You guys aren't getting that one? Okay. The United States House of Representatives has voted in favor of a bill banning TikTok in the United States. The bill will now have to get approved by the Senate, and then it will have to be signed by President Biden. If that happens, TikTok's owner, ByteDance, will have 5 months to sell the company. After that time, companies like Apple and Google would be prohibited from offering the app in their stores. The whole reason for the ban is because TikTok is owned by a Chinese company, and legislators in the United States have been arguing that the Chinese government would be able to spy on citizens through the country's intelligence laws. According to CNN, TikTok is currently used by more than 170 million Americans. So,
wow.
Thoughts on this? And again, I don't want to rant too much more because we are super over time right now, and we still have one more story on this, but this is massive.
So it says 170 million users. I'm 3 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't TikTok. I know we have a TikTok somewhere at Distance Nerding if you need to follow it while you can. But I know a lot of cosplayers and influencers that are connected to the show use TikTok and have a huge following on TikTok. So this is kind of big news in the Hollywood nerd sphere that we kind of, run around in. So
yeah,
this is unprecedented. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
We need to stop saying that word. We've normalized that word and I'm sick of it.
Unprecedented.
Or TikTok.
Please stop saying that word. It's a trigger word for me. I'm not kidding.
So not only what we don't have written in this is, so the House of Representatives voted in favor of the ban. The Senate has already said that once it gets to the Senate, that they are going to they're also going to approve it. President Biden said once it hits his desk, he's signing it. So this is happening.
Yeah.
TikTok is going to get banned, and the whole thing is they're also saying that it needs to be purchased by an American company. So it's just kind of like, there's a lot wrong with this, but also there's a lot of misunderstanding on the side of these geriatrics that run our country. Because
look, it's a hard situation, because if China really is using it to actually steal information or whatever, yeah, absolutely, that is not good. But there are ways besides banning it, which is a move China would do against something, because they've done it. They do it all the time.
Right.
So I just feel like we're getting more into an authoritarian type situation and less in that. I just don't know that the 170 million people that are voters probably may or may not come out to vote because of this. So it's like, do you want another hornet's nest? There are lots of hornet's nests going around lately. And do you want this to be another one for the young people to come out and vote?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm asking that question because I literally don't know. And I don't know enough about TikTok to give a really informed tirade either way.
Yeah, this is a massive level of censorship. And the whole thing with this is, again, you have the House where this initially started with TikTok messing with Donald Trump a couple of years ago. Trump didn't like it and immediately was like, we need to ban TikTok, right? Because, influencers on TikTok were just messing with him and he didn't like it. And it's ballooned from, him creating a talking point to them making everybody see, we're not wrong in this. It's a Chinese company, which means China is spying on us. And I mean, some of the logic that they're using is sound, right? It's not unreasonable when we have the tension that we have with China, as far as the U.S. and China having the tension that they have, and believing that China has the ability to spy on American citizens, but the thing is there also is a massive level of misunderstanding that the representatives that we have in office have when it comes to social media platforms and kind of like what they're doing and things like that. Like there was a whole Senate meeting or a Senate hearing where they were questioning the CEO of TikTok, who is Taiwanese. So he's not exactly a happy person who's happy with China himself, right? But like, him just kind of making them look like idiots that don't know what they're talking about.
Okay, so it'll be interesting to see what happens from here on out. Now that it's gonna go to the Senate, we'll see.
We'll
But
see a
let's
lot
keep
more
going.
people on YouTube and Instagram again.
Oh,
Honestly, yeah.
The other big thing on this too is the trend right now is people have already been moving and migrating back over to Instagram, because now Instagram has Reels. Now they have all the different things that are there, and market share wise, at least in the United States, Instagram is back on top again. So TikTok has been kind of declining in the US as it is. So just because you can do the same thing, the majority of it, you can do the same thing on Instagram now. So it's kind of, I think a lot of that is, if there is a chance that TikTok gets banned, I don't think that the majority of users are going to be super pissed off, because they have similar followings and similar things going on Instagram. So they're not going to be ousted completely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Got it.
Well, and also like because I use both. I use TikTok and Instagram, and I post videos for Gal, and all her stuff. And usually I'll post it on TikTok first, and then I'll post it on Instagram. And the reason is because the way that TikTok does it and how they do like their closed captioning and different things like that, to me is a lot more user friendly than Instagram's. And I don't know if that's how they're actually getting all of my data, but I love that. So Instagram, get that shit doing.
Yeah,
I like it.
So let's move on before we like get really super political on this.
In dreamy dessert news, Wendy's has its next Frosty flavor lined up and ready to go. After a series of seasonal releases, Orange Dreamsicle will be the flavor for the fast food chain launches to celebrate the arrival of spring. Yes.
Yay!
Give me some Frosties. I like this. It has yet to be
Give me
unveiled.
some kind of frosty. That's what you're saying.
I'm hungry. Can't you see I'm hungry?
It is yet to be unveiled just how long Orange Dreamsicle Frosties will be available. If it follows the schedule of its other seasonal predecessors, it's possible they could be in stock through the early part of summer when the new seasonal Frosty flavor is released. I have a Orange Opsis Dreamsicle synopsis.
Orange Opsis Dreamsicle synopsis.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are dreamsicles made in other flavors, or is orange the only dreamsicle?
I've seen other flavors. I've seen like cherry ones and like grape ones and stuff where it's got like the vanilla ice cream inside of the pop. So the orange dream.
Okay, no, honestly, I wanted to know because I didn't know if like dreamsicle was like the brand and they just had different flavors, or like if it was a thing, because I've only ever had orange dreamsicles. So.
The orange one is definitely the best one, because the other flavors aren't as good, but the orange dreamsicle is easily the most iconic and the best one. So
it's the Kleenex and Q-tip of dreamsicle flavors. The orange.
Okay, all right. So basically, dreamsicle is just like a creamy version of a fruit.
Sure. I never really thought about it, but I think you're right.
There are
Okay.
so many bad jokes that can come from there. All right.
The orange dreamsicle frosty is a unique spin on a familiar flavor, packing a spoonful of sweet orange notes combined with a classic smooth vanilla frosty for a dreamy orange cream experience the Wendy's way. The chain says that the flavor is the eye-catching orange colors of this delectable treat has inspired the spring season, and it tastes just as good as it looks. I'm into it. I like this. The flavor will be at participating locations nationwide and will replace Wendy's vanilla flavor because Wendy's vanilla is basic bitch flavor whenever possible,
Santa will like
beginning
it.
today,
Ooh.
right now.
So the only downside to this is if they're replacing the vanilla flavor completely, there are
Come on.
some people who are going to be pissed off at this because like I don't want orange, I just want my regular vanilla.
Yeah,
And
like
those
Korean
people are
Englishmen.
basic bitches.
They like Jones for those freaking vanilla frosties.
The vanilla frosty is a staple, so it's like if there's
No.
anything, they should have just added an additional flavor than just getting
No.
vanilla altogether.
No, get vanilla out of here. It's only the chocolate frosty and this dreamsicle one. The basic bitch vanilla one doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter.
Too bad, Santa.
Mm-hmm. And that's the news we have. Now we can go have lunch. Maybe we go find a Wendy's.
There's a Wendy's down the street. I'm
There's
actually
also- yep.
thinking about having husby get Wendy's, so
And
we
they
can
have-
try that.
They have mini dreamsicle frosties. So James, we can partake.
Let's partake. I'll
Yeah.
partake. I'll partake the hell out of this.
Hell
Let's
yeah.
Ooh, you know what? We should do mini frosty mimosas
Oh yes.
with the dreamsicle. There we go.
Mini frosty mimosas, and to celebrate, we put them on a shirt because we got merch, people.
we got merch, people.
I like that idea. We got a hat for $35. If we don't buy it, if somebody doesn't buy it, we're gonna bring it to Boise, Idaho, and somebody's gonna buy it in Boise. I like it. Until then, we got shirts. So we got two different shirts. We got the logo shirt and the character shirt. Just DM us at Distance Nerding, not on TikTok, but on Instagram. Let us know how many you're looking for, what sizes you're looking for. They're $20 each, or 25 if we got to ship it to you, or we'll throw it at your face in Boise, Idaho, because we'll have them there too. Hooray, hooray.
Not on the Tic Tacs.
Not on the TikToks. Nope. I like it. That's it for merch.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Let's talk schedule, guys. So we are on our regular times right now. Not on our regular times right now. So Tuesdays from 10 to I guess whenever we finish is the download. And we've been doing it at 10 o'clock. It's been fun. We've been getting good audience in. Why am I screwing up?
It helps the non-Pacific Coast peeps.
It does, for sure.
It does. Yeah.
But yes, we are doing our show from 10 to whenever we finish. On Thursdays, we still continue to do our the build from 6 to 8. And then, of course, daily, I've been doing game streams. They have been fun as hell. I'm already halfway through Shadow of Mordor, and then once I'm done with Shadow of Mordor, we'll play Shadow of War. It's been a really good time. I played Shadow of Mordor last night just because I hadn't played during the day, and I got pretty far. But like, by midnight there was nobody on. Darren was still in the chat though. Darren was still in the chat talking smack the entire time. So
I think
funny.
Tyler was there, but he was sleeping.
yeah,
So
Tyler's always there, but he's sleeping. So
there you go.
Oh, and so he not only sleep YouTubes, he sleep Twitches.
yes,
Yep.
100%. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen Tyler in the Twitch. Oh, ground beef tacos are on sale. I might have to go do Gym Boys. All right, so that's basically been our schedule. Now, soon I'm actually going to be going back to work sometime soon here. So once I get my date for when I go back to work, I'll let you guys, we'll let you guys know when the schedule is going to go back to its old regular time.
Awesome.
We're all wearing black shirts. I just realized at the end of the show.
Ah, adorable. Now, of course, as we get on this, Fray, you're the only one that does stuff outside of distance nerding. So, what is?
Do I though?
Yeah. Not right now, but you normally do. What are some pluggables? Give us your pluggables.
Well, I am on TikTok, I guess, until it passes the Senate, and and I'm also on all. I'm like on all of it. I'm on all the social medias, including Blue Sky. Don't forget Blue Sky's out there, guys. And I have my own channel called Fray Girl. Where we do lots of interesting things. There are corgi shorts on it because I have short corgis. And we also do a couple of series. One is called Classified, where we classify your favorite fandoms into D&D classes. And it's usually fun. We have gotten a little bit more combative on it. Not, haven't come to blows yet, but I feel like it's coming soon. And we do a sister series. Sorry, I'm just trying to, up the drama. We do a sister series called Journals of the Classes. We actually do have another sister series we're thinking about once Journals finishes that's going to deal with the different races of the D&D universe. And then we've also got another one that we're thinking about doing like a couple of one-offs about like magic and stuff. So look forward to those. I am reworking on my Her Story stuff, and I'm also still plugging away on the origin stories that I'd like to do, and I'd like to do that on Distance Nerding. So we'll hopefully get that started soon.
As soon as you're ready to do it, we'll get it going.
I just have to write it, and I've kind of been busy writing something, doing questions and stuff for now. And I'm gonna go
do
back
what you do. We're here for it.
Do what is necessary.
All right. Have something you want to discuss? Tell us what you're nerding out on, and make sure to let us know in the Facebook group, the Distance Nerdington Post.
Now, nerds, you all know where you can go. All you got to do is go to distancenerding.com. Use the code. I'm sorry, wrong thing that I'm talking here. Click
no
at the
code
top.
needed.
Hit the buy us a taco button, and you can buy us a taco. Join the taco party, ladies and gentlemen. All you got to do is just hit that buy us a taco button. It helps us do more shows, helps us do more events, helps us get better prizes to give away, all that kind of stuff right there. All we do is want to entertain all of you out there, and we can't do it without you guys. So you are what make us go. You complete me. So that is it right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that, and it was going to be, you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth. I think I'm entitled to it. All right, that's enough.
Where?
Did you glitch or something, James?
I forgot one of my lines. Usually it's James not doing his line. So follow us, connect with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, Threads. Well, TikTok not TikTok, but Threads, YouTube, Discord, MySpace, Vine, GeoCities, Friendster, Second Life, AIM, Farmers Only, Christian Mingle, OnlyFans. Only pictures of Aaron Watson's feet and handles, along with the beard and James's newly found glasses on the table.
Great.
At Distance Nerding. And of course, if you'd like us to break up with your boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other, pet, schoolyard bully, annoying neighbor, hold on. There we go. Annoying neighbor. Or just tell us how much you enjoy us, hate us, or wish the internet would consume us and spit us out at the feet of Agatha Harkness. Send us an email at dist.
I'm too busy talking to Say Wong in the chat about Jim Boy's tacos and if they're on sale or not on sale right now. This is big. This is news, everybody. Hard-hitting news.
Yes.
Okay.
I wonder if my old 5'10" cheerleader high school girlfriend likes Jim Boy's tacos.
You got to let that go.
Yeah.
Elsa the crap out of that.
Think it's over with. And it's nerding at AOL.com, and we will read it on the show.
I think that's it, everybody. We appreciate you. Thanks, and keep nerding together.
Together.
All right,
Also with each other.
it is time for the dance party.
Nerding everywhere.
Going, just nerding all over the place.
Roy can't have nerding.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Pick up the phone and call your call the cheerleader.
Call your cheerleader.
Call your local cheerleader.
Distance nerding.
Not gonna lie, I thought that was like a butt donut.
It's a koozie.
Philippe is very familiar with butt donuts.
Then why bring it up, Say Wong?
Say Wong, you failed us. Say Wong.
One guest Dave doesn't know is coming. Creepy baby.
That's gonna curse all of Idaho.
That's why you bring the baby.
It's not the first time she's been in Idaho, y'all.
Sounds like a prequel movie.
We'll see everybody on Thursday.